All right, everyone, we are going to get started. My name is Martin Orifice, and I am joined here with Mr. Trey Llewellyn, James P. Friel, Sean Lynham, and the lovely and talented Yada Golden, who will be facilitating your questions in the chat box with the All-Stars. Now, we are the ClickFunnels All-Stars, and our goal is to show you how to go from rookie to All-Star in 30 days or less. Now, before we get going, I'd like to do a little bit of housekeeping. First of all, can you guys hear me? Just type into the little bit of sound check. Just type into the box either yes or no, can you hear me, and where are you from? All right, looks good. All right, let's see who we have here. We have Bill from Glendale. Welcome, Bill. Jorge from Secaucus. Hey, Jorge. Thanks for joining us. Look at here, we have Jeannie from Marlboro, Mass. Wait a second. That's my mom. Hey, Mom. Amy from Broomfield, Colorado. Wait a second, that's my sister. Well, looks like we got the entire family on, so thanks for supporting me. I appreciate that. And since they're on, it looks like I'll have to be on my best behavior, which is all right. I think you guys want that. Now, here's what I would recommend so you guys get the most out of our time here together today. Shut the door of your office, turn your phone on airplane mode, close down any other browsers or windows, and get ready to take notes. And I'm asking for your undivided attention, and my guarantee to you is that you won't be disappointed. The information that we're going to go over has the possibility to change your life only if you take notes and you, most importantly, take action. I just talked with a gentleman yesterday by the name of Grant, who after hearing the information you're about to hear in 4 weeks' time has completely blown up his business to a point where he's now staffing up to handle demand. So when we talk about bringing you up to All-Star in 30 days, this is not something that's a pipe dream. This is reality, and it's happening all over the country. So we're going to be sharing some wild stuff here, and I'm sure you're going to have questions. My promise to you is that we're going to stay on as long as we can after the presentation to answer your questions. So as we're going through the information, anything pops into your head, just write it in the chat box, and we'll do our best to address all of those during the Q&A section after the workshop. If the question is for someone specifically, what you can do is just say, hey, this one is for Trey or Jim or Sean, and do that. So just to give you a little background on us, we are entrepreneurs that work in a variety of different fields, including real estate, digital information products, physical products, consulting, live events, you name it. We've either are doing it now or have done it in the past. And a few weeks ago, we were all together at an event, and we were talking about how ClickFunnels was changing the way that we do business. And we realized that it allowed us to move really fast, and we're all making some really amazing money from it, and realized that others could benefit from learning about what we were doing. So within an hour, we had gotten Russell and his team on the phone, told them what we were doing and how passionate we were about his product, and started planning this webinar to show you what we're doing and learning from being in the trenches. And just to be clear, we're not employees of ClickFunnels. We're just passionate entrepreneurs about what the product has done for our business and our lives, and wanted to share that with you. And so this workshop presentation is going to help you look at business and marketing in a new way, challenge your perception of what's possible, and give you the steps you need to take in order to start or grow your business. Now, I'm sure if you're on this call, you've already heard of the 80-20 rule. That's that 20% of our actions yield 80% of our results. Now, this applies to all areas of our life, including business, where 80% of the business is typically done by 20% of the people. And what we're going to do here today is help you level the playing field to ensure that you're in that 20% that's making the money and living the lifestyle that you've always wanted. So our goal is to show you how anyone can go from rookie to all-star, amateur to professional, newbie to ninja in 30 days or less. And you're in the right place if you're looking to see behind the scenes of what our top internet marketing all-stars are doing, how they're doing it, strategies, tricks, hacks, software, and tools that they're using to run their business. Now, while each presenter has their own specialty or niche, the principles covered are applicable whether you're selling t-shirts, hotel rooms, digital products, landscaping, painting classes, or really anything else you can think of. These principles are universal. So it doesn't matter if you're just starting out or don't have a product or you're a seasoned veteran. Now, based on the feedback we received, there are two areas where people had the most questions. One is product, and that's what to sell, and traffic, and how to get the eyeballs to get people onto that offer of what you're selling. Now today, our focus is reviewing case studies of successful funnels and diving into the All-Stars businesses, and is not 100% focused on finding a product or teaching how to run traffic. That being said, we are going to be covering these topics with each one of the presenters showing you examples of how they've done it, and even how one of our very own, Mr. Sean Lynham, one of the All-Stars, made $42,000 in 4 days without his own product, without his own mailing list, and put that together very quickly. So once again, if you have specific questions, put them in the question box, and we will answer them at the end. All right, here is a quick overview of the guys and what they'll be covering. Up first, we have Trey Llewellyn, a.k.a. Mr. Onnit, who turned a hobby selling t-shirts on Facebook into a multi-million-dollar business within a year, very short time. And then we have Mr. Sean Lynham, and he likes to refer to himself as Mr. Making It Happen. This is a rookie internet marketer who launched this business in 1 day, literally while driving to Thanksgiving dinner, and then sold $42,000 worth of product in a 3-day flash sale. Now, did I mention he didn't have his own list or product? Just blows my mind. And last but not least, we have James P. Friel, a.k.a. the Contract CEO, has been using these strategies to build his own consulting business, as well as blowing up sales for his private consulting clients. Now, what we've learned over the years is that it doesn't pay to be a pioneer. These guys are hardened entrepreneurs. They've been in the street fights, taking arrows in the back, so you don't have to. They've spent their money and time learning what doesn't work so they can share with you what does. So let's get rolling with Mr. Trey Llewellyn, a.k.a. Mr. Onnit. What can I say about this guy? He cleaned out his office as an insurance agent less than a year ago, and just recently took a private jet to speak at an internet marketing conference in Vegas. I mean, just a few weeks ago. If he's not driving around or in his Maserati or eating food made by his private chef, if he's not doing either one of those, he's making millions of dollars selling t-shirts online, physical products, targets, knives, flashlights, anything you can dream of, and even dominating niche things like membership sites. This guy has his hand in everything. This guy thinks and implements at the same speed. Just the work around this guy blows my mind. It's just truly incredible. So guys, I'm happy and honored to introduce my friend and colleague, Mr. Onnit, Mr. Teespring, Mr. Private Jet, Mr. Private Chef, Trey Llewellyn. Trey, can you hear me?
I can, sir. What's going on? How are you?
I am doing excellent. Thank you for joining us today. I appreciate it.
We are here, ready to rock and roll. I'm going to grab the screen here when I can. I think I'm going to get a little icon here in a minute. But man, I tell you what, while I'm waiting on that screen, what I'll do is I'm just super stoked to be surrounded by being Mr. Onnit, being surrounded by Mr. Making It Happen, Mr. Contract CEO, and Mr. All Over It. Like, it just doesn't get any better than that. So I think you can see. Well, you're a lot of fun. The reason I'm a lot of fun is because I get to hang around with guys like you, because you're a lot of fun. So it kind of goes back and forth here. So man, what an awesome call! Like, I am super stoked to be first here, to get rock and rolling. And I tell you what, like, it's rare to see this full of a call. So I'm stoked that we got a ton of people on here glued to their seats, eyes wide open, pins ready to write down, and we're going to share some pretty cool stuff. So, Mr. Making It Happen. Mr. All Over It. No, you're Mr. All Over It. I gotta get everybody straight. Mr. All Over It. I appreciate the intro. That was really nice of you. So let's get started, you guys. You guys ready to rock and roll this little call here? We're gonna talk about a wonderful day, by the way. Like, we're gonna have a lot of fun. So if you guys are ready to rock and roll, why don't you put a big yes in the chat, like a big booyah. We like to say boom over here, or ka-ching. We'll talk about it in a minute. Ka-chings are pretty sweet. Booms, ka-chings, yeses. Oh yeah, there we go. Everybody's like chiming in now. What's up, everybody? All right, so we'll get this rocking here, and let's get rolling. So basically, ClickFunnels All Stars. You know, what the whole premise of this was taking you guys, or is to take you guys from rookie to all-star status in under 30 days. So if that's not a challenge on our part, I don't know what is, because that is a huge statement that we are here to provide to you guys, and I'm excited that I'm on this team. This team is absolutely phenomenal. It was hand chosen by all 5 of us. So this is how it's going to work. So I'm going to talk a little bit about me for a minute, just in case you don't even know who the heck I am. I'm Trey Llewellyn. So as you just heard, you know, we got to do some pretty cool stuff the last couple of months, the last year, to where, yeah, I mean, you know, we got to do some neat stuff, like drive around in a Maserati and you know, do some. We did some speedway cars a couple months ago. We got to, you know, take a private jet out of Vegas. So you know, a lot of cool things are happening. But if it wouldn't be, I wouldn't be to where I am today if it wasn't for the mentors that I surround myself with. And the way I look at it is, you know, if you're in a room, like if you're the most wealthiest in the room, you're in the wrong room. If you're the healthiest in the room, you are in the wrong room. So hopefully that makes a lot of sense for you. You need to get to places where, you know, people are over and above you, and you're always learning. You know, ABL, always be learning, because that's the name of the game. That's what I do. And as you heard, you know, Mr. All Over It kind of say there is, we're an implementer, like we're an implementing machine, to where you tell us to do something, we'll prove it true. Absolutely. So I want to talk about, you know, what kind of happened, like what was Trey's life like? What's Trey's life like now? And how can you know, have the life that we have created for ourselves? So let's just talk a little bit about like what kind of happened. So with Teespring, I mean, there was a big problem, right? And there still is today. And the idea is getting ripped off by a risky business. So what's that mean? Well, what I mean by that is, you know, you're selling all these shirts on platforms such as Teespring, or, you know, shoot, there's all kinds like Faberly and Zazzle and all this stuff, to where the problem is you're creating nice profits for yourself, and 2 things. One, here's the real truth. Once you sell a shirt, once you sell a T-shirt or a campaign and it ends, you are unemployed. You are unemployed until you sell the next campaign, until you start selling the next campaign and are in profit mode. So you're basically in a cycle, a cyclical cycle that's pretty dangerous. It's a risky business, right? So one thing there is, you know, being unemployed every time we did a campaign. So that was a big aha for us when we started going into the T-shirt business. Like, okay, what do we need to do to make sure that doesn't happen? Secondly is, we don't get to download the buyers. So we're filling like crazy amounts of buyers into you know, these platforms, to where we can't export them. So that's a pretty risky thing too, because even if one of those legs, I always call them pillars, to where we have these pillars such as, you know, Facebook, which is our traffic source. We have Teespring, which is our you know, basically this catapult of a machine. And let me just explain real quick what like this Teespring thing is. So just in case you guys are on here like, what the heck is he talking about? What's this Teespring thing? Is it a spring out of a machine? No, it's actually a website. The basic premise of Teespring is you know, create a design. You create a design for a T-shirt. Let's say I love fishing, and I'm like, oh man, there needs to exist a fishing shirt that says, you know, I always throw the hook in the right place, and you know that's going to be a top seller. So you would go to Teespring, you'd create a user account, free to do that. You would take the design, load it up to Teespring, and then Teespring handles the rest. You basically just send traffic to your design, saying, hey friends, I just created this really cool T-shirt called, you know, I throw the hook in the right place. You need to buy it. Like, you guys are gonna love this. So that's creating traffic. You're sending traffic to the T-shirt. So Teespring, that's the one thing Teespring won't do. It doesn't send traffic there. So once the traffic hits Teespring, then Teespring does the rest. It starts creating conversions, you know, gets them to buy, and you know, starts shipping them out. So they do all the manufacturing, they do the returns, refunds, customer service, you name it, they do it. And then at the end of the 7 days, well, you get a little bit of a nice payout. Anything above the margins. So just all you have to consider doing is making sure your traffic cost is less than your profit from the T-shirts, because basically, you know, if you spend $1 on Facebook and you make $10 on a T-shirt, well, there you go. You made $9 profit. So with that, that's Teespring. So you have 2 mediums, Teespring and Facebook on one side. So that's what we did. That's where we started. The problem is, again, is Teespring doesn't give you the buyer list. So that's at first that's not a big deal, but once you start selling 5 and 10,000 shirts a month, that's a pretty big deal. That's kind of where we landed. So the solution, what's the solution? Well, I got a nifty idea. How about we create a platform to store the buyer's data, right? Let's start selling our T-shirts on our own platform. Like we proved the idea true to where we can sell T-shirts to an audience, so that's great. Now let's create, let's be the manufacturer. Let's find a manufacturer that can create it for us. Let's create a website. So the result then is turning those buyers, because now we have those buyers, that buyer data, into multi-buyers. If you don't know this already, a buyer is a buyer is a buyer is a buyer. I can show you test after test that we do that our buyers buy again and again and again. It's absolutely astonishing, almost to the fact that no one emails them because they're scared that they'll just think they're spamming them. But guys, like you're missing a huge boat. Like you're missing a cruise ship, if not an oil tanker. If you're not resending emails out to your multi-buyers. That's the first thing we do when we launch a new shirt is we say, hey guys, guess what? We got a new shirt. Even though we just told you about the other 10 that we did the last 10 weeks, we got yet another one for this week 11. Like it doesn't get old. Like they love this stuff because that's the niche that they're in. They love fishing or whatever we're emailing them about. So we're turning buyers into multi-buyers. So it's absolutely astonishing. So that takes a little work. So let me kind of walk through what that looks like. Okay. So let me make sure. Let's see if mic's working. So we got a little bit. Someone saying it's cutting out. So let me talk about this. So here's kind of like some of our old results to where we sold some shirts. So here's a really cool shirt design. You might have saw a picture of my brother and I. We were standing in front of the TV, and this is the night that we sold 6,000 shirts in 7 days. So we were selling right under 7,000 shirts in 7 days, which is absolutely astonishing. It was so fun to be in that jet stream. And then on the right side, you can kind of see like what does that look like on the profit mode. So like you sell 6,000, you get $77,000, and that's after Teespring takes its cut. So that's what we get. Then we got a couple of the campaigns, 4,000, 2,000s, 1,000s, and these are going into selling when every 7 days. So we were selling this amount of shirts on Teespring every 7 days. So we're just relaunching shirts. We're positioning them to new audiences, things like that. So this is the type of money you can earn just by creating a nice traffic source, somebody who is in it to win it and who is there to pridefully be over their niche. Say if it's fishing or if it's hunting or if it's being on a go-kart, like whatever. If they like drag racing, like whatever that niche is. So all we do is we get in front of them. Right? You have a parade of people. You get in front of that parade and you sell them stuff. So those are kind of like the typical results that we're receiving. So we're doing 5,000 to 10,000 shirts per month. So then I was like, okay, so let's get away from the problem. Let's start creating a solution and start building our website. So what we did was we actually called up a good friend of mine, and what we did was we were able to be able to call them and say, hey, I need this website to sell shirts on, and because realistically, I wanted to make sure we were collecting the buyer's data. Okay, so that was the big thing there. Now with the buyer's data, we can sell them over and over and over again. So here's the concept: is we called them out, and they said, okay, well we can build you a website, we can start selling your T-shirts online, we can make it look really cool. I said, fantastic. And they said it's going to cost around $3,500. I said, fantastic. That sounds great because we do one campaign that's paid for, so it was a no-brainer for us. So with that, what we did then was we started building the site. What we didn't know is it was going to take 2.5 months. So we were just kind of fiddling around for 2.5 months, practically out of business, right? Because we're waiting on this website to be built. So we're waiting 2.5 months. We actually get to the end of the 2.5 months. They say, hey, it's ready to go, it's ready to launch, and boom, it breaks. Like nothing worked. It was awful. Like we weren't able to get the buyer data. Like we weren't making sales. The transactions was breaking. Like everything that could break was breaking. Like we literally were proving Newton's law every single day with this platform. And I was like, oh my gosh, like what are we gonna do? Like this is pretty bad. Because we just spent like $3,500 on a website that doesn't work. Like it's totally broke, and we definitely we could still do the T-shirt thing with these other platforms. But again, like we're just going back. Like we're not getting our buyers' information. That's exactly what we need. Like that's so important for you guys to be collecting. So then I was on a call with a lovely lady inside one of our masterminds, and we were telling, we're just kind of discussing our problems, and she's like, well, that sounds cool, but have you heard of this little thing called ClickFunnels that's come out? I was like, no, I've not even heard about ClickFunnels. Like, what is that? And so she's like, well, I think it's something that you might want to look into because I think it can do what you're looking to do. I think it can sell T-shirts or products or items. And she said it's supposed to be like pretty drag and drop and easy to do. And I was like, man, that'd almost be like a little miracle happening. So we signed up, we tried it out, did the 14-day trial or whatever, and within within the 14 days, like, it's pretty amazing, but within the first 2 days, I had an up and running funnel. So ClickFunnels costs about $100, so you guys know that. So this cost me $100 to buy. ClickFunnels did. I spent $3,500 to build a 2.5-month website that was broke, and it took me, I'd say realistically, 4 to 4.5 hours to build a full-fledged funnel selling T-shirts. And this is actually the first funnel I built. I mean, it's I still look at this today. I was like, yeah, that is absolutely beautiful because it would work. Like, I was actually converting at higher percentages than I was with using the other platforms, and I was making higher margins because I was dealing with a manufacturer. I was dealing with my own merchant account. Like, it was a very, very beautiful thing. So I built this funnel. We still use the same exact funnel today to sell our T-shirts. We show, do the front and the back on the T-shirts. We're selling, $25.90. We're doing scarcity with the timers and how many sold out of how many goals, and they go to buy it. But here's what's even better is not only do they buy it from the front end, but now we can start selling them stuff again and again and again right after they buy something. So I'm like, hey, you just bought that T-shirt. Do you want a hat with that? Do you want some gloves or sneakers or some tennis shoes or maybe some sunglasses? Yeah, I'd love some sunglasses. That'd be awesome. Yeah, I'd love another sweatshirt. That'd be cool. A hat? Heck yeah. Let's grab that. So now I'm getting like all these massive bumps in sales, and now my cost per acquisition for a customer is still the same because we're still doing the same thing. So it might be $10, $12 to get a customer, but my value for the customer, right? The amount of money I'm getting from the customer now went from it was like around $29 to now it's around like $39 to $49. So just huge exponential growth because of all the upsells ClickFunnels was able to provide me. So I was like, holy crap, this is astonishing. And here's what like the order form looks like. Like, I was just putting easy stuff down. Like, I was using the products. We still did the countdown timer. We did on the left side just sizes, small, medium, large. What kind of shirt size do you want? Here you go. They just get the select one and they put in their information, and then after that, upsell to some other product that we were doing. So are you guys kind of getting the idea here? Like, this is really cool because not only now do I get to sell more products, I get to increase the customer value, but now I'm able to, by using this system called ClickFunnels, I'm able to keep sending them more offers. Like, and if they didn't buy, this is what's even better. Like, if they didn't buy the T-shirt, I get to send them an email saying, hey, I noticed you didn't buy that T-shirt. Is there any reason why? And talk about like great customer feedback. Yeah, you didn't have my size. Okay, well, what's your size? Oh, I'm a 4X large. Okay, well, perfect. Let me see if I can get one of those for you real quick. Or yeah, you didn't have my color. Okay, well, what color are you looking for? Or yeah, the price was too expensive. Okay, well, tell me, what price would you pay for a shirt like that? And just like that. Or we have a lot of people that life just got in the way, right? Like, you guys would be very surprised of all the research that we do, but the findings are even better. To like just life getting in the way. We actually had this lady. We saw her come in. We saw her grab a shirt. She started entering her information. She entered everything. She entered her credit card information and things like that. And she got all the way down to that button, and then just went blank. Like, she didn't click ship now. So I was like, what the heck happened? Like, what was going on? Come to find out, she thought it was such a great deal that she texted her friend. She was actually using her mobile device, so she closed the window, texted her friend real quick, and was like, hey, I found these really cool shirts. Here's a screenshot. Do you want one too? Because I'm about to order some, and we'll save on shipping. And well, what happens is if you guys are familiar with Facebook traffic, is the ad would disappear. The ad goes away. So she only got one time to see it. So with our reply emails, I'm like, hey, did life get in the way? Did you text your friend to see if he or she wanted one? More than likely, you might have. And I wanted to make sure that you still had the link to still grab your shirt. Guys, we got like a huge 5% bump from that. Just responding and saying, hey, saw you didn't order today. Wanted to make sure we weren't missing something. So that was that was huge too. So let's kind of move on. So what's money look like? Like what does this look like when you're doing types of volume through ClickFunnels? So here's just kind of a screenshot. We use Stripe for our stuff. Within the couple months that we started using Stripe, we got 5,000 customers. That's 5,000 buyers that we were able to do. And not to mention it doesn't show upsells here, but I mean we were able to do $126,000 in gross volume just through using ClickFunnels. I mean it's absolutely astonishing. If you're not using it, you're kind of bonkers because it's just super simple and you can be up and running. Like we create probably 4 funnels a month right now and just are launching and launching and launching, and it's just absolutely amazing to see that total volume just like keep escalating and create into a linear curve. So it wasn't all that easy though, right? Like, oh Trey, whew, that was awesome, but man, like you got a cool life, dude. Like you're practically fed like with a silver spoon here, buddy. I wish that was true. I seriously wish that was true because my life would be a lot easier today. But guys, like I will put this out everywhere and anywhere it needs to go. But I am totally no different than you. More than likely, you're probably smarter than me. That's the real truth. You are probably way better at this than I will ever be or am. That's just the full bottom truth. Because like 2 years from today, I was actually in the office selling insurance. Like I was the dude selling you life insurance. The guy who you didn't want to talk to. The guy who you just you call up and you're like, I just need to pay my insurance bill and please don't ask me. Please don't ask me. Oh, he just asked me if I wanted to buy life insurance. Here he goes. I was that guy. So, so you can imagine how that went. But selling insurance. So I was like, okay, like this gig is not for me. So I started figuring out like insurance wasn't my gig. So I started creating a DVD, and like this is me starting. Like this is just 2 years ago, guys. So I was starting, and I was like, holy crap! Like I need to get out of here. I think I can sell like a DVD. So I started selling like this $47 DVD, and it sucked. Like I was bad at it. I was selling a DVD like one by one. Like I had no clue how to do ads or reach a big audience or how to target my audience. Like I had no clue. I was dumb. Like I had no idea. And so then I started looking at online, like how do you kind of like what you guys are doing, right? Like how do you find us? How do you make money online? That's probably your Google search, right? How do I become rich? How do I get rich schemes, like things like that, right? Online get rich schemes and all that stuff. So I'm looking up that, and I come across this event called Traffic and Conversion, and it's like, okay, that sounds kind of cool. And I was talking to Sean Lynham, who's actually coming up on the call here, and he's like, hey. I was like, hey, do you want to go to this like TNC event? He's like, oh yeah, I heard of that. He goes, there's actually going to be some pretty cool people at that event. I was like, oh really? Like some people that go to this? He's like, oh yeah. And he goes, you should really go. Like it'd be worth meeting these people just that alone versus the event. So I was like, okay, well I'm game. So I actually went. I went with a friend of mine. We stayed up on a hotel, and that was away from the conference because we couldn't afford it. We couldn't afford the real hotel. So I went every day. Like I got Starbucks in the morning, and like I was like that first guy in the room. Like I was there to learn, and I wasn't there to do anything other but learn. And it was amazing just the fire hose of information I received. But again, like looking back at it now, that information really was like it didn't really help that much because it was just another shiny object, right? I was in shiny object syndrome. Like I was buying all these little products, and conferences are the same way. It's the people, it's the mentors that actually take you to the next level. And I didn't know that. Like I previously when selling the great example, selling the $47 DVD here, is I didn't know what I was doing. Like no one was holding my hand. I was just trying to follow like a little video. And that's when I started looking at hiring mentors. And my first hired mentor was Adam Spiel. And he was the first one to teach me kind of like a little bit about Facebook. And then beyond that, I hired, probably like around 10 more different mentors through the course of the next, year and 2 years. And I still have 2 to 3 mentors today. And it's absolutely astonishing. Like I put everything down on that. And here's the thing, like I was terrified, and you guys might be too, but I was terrified of spending more than $10 a day on ad spend. How crazy is that, right? Like you might be in that level right now, and that is totally cool. Because I high five to you because I was there. Like I did not want to spend $10 more, and there's multiple stories on that because like I actually went to Florida, and I remember this guy, this great friend now. I mean, I love this dude, but his name's Rob Kosberg, and I told him how much I was spending. And it was like $10. A day, and I told him what I wanted to do. Like he's like, "What's your goals?" I was like, "Man, I'd love to, do 10,000 or 20,000 a month." And he's like, "Well, okay, how are you going to get there?" I was like, "Well, I guess I can spend, $20 a day." And I remember him looking at me, and just being like, woo, like woo, like he totally like was making fun of me, but that's what I needed. Like I totally needed that to escalate, my scaling up, and I did. And from that day, guys, what I have learned, I will tell you this, is I have learned from all the stuff that I've been through over the last, short 2 years, I'll tell you that. But what I've learned so far is I started showing up. Like I wasn't as serious as I am today as I was selling that $47 DVD. Like today, I am just like, boom. Like I am the biggest show-upper now. Started delegating tasks. That's huge, right? Because I was wearing all the hats. You might be wearing all the hats too. I talk about delegating tasks, little things, just little things, such as who answers your emails, who posts maybe to your Facebook page, little things. Like start with little stuff. And if you have kids, they're a great resource. If you need someone that's cheap, we use Get Friday. We can talk about that a little later in the Q&A. But Get Friday does a great thing in that they're all in India. They're extremely reasonable on their pricing. If they charge like $6 an hour, and you don't have to pay them a W-2. How cool is that? But I started that. Like that's how I started. I started paying these guys to like do my little minion work, and that's the idea. And lastly is I just started being who I wanted to be. And that's what it's going to take for you guys to get where you want to be here. Like if you're looking at, finding out what even a funnel is. Maybe I think there's some people on the call that don't even know what a funnel is. And that's okay. Like you were just starting out, and that's super cool. Like I was totally in that position. And I will say this, if there is any place to be, you are totally in the right place. Like you're in the right groups. This is totally the right mastermind, and we can totally help you out, like, spread your wings and start figuring stuff out. So lessons learned from not only just ClickFunnels and the things that I've been through that I would totally sit down with you with and share is just focus on one thing. A lot of people try to build, like they're like, oh, I gotta go create an ebook. Oh, and then I also gotta create a membership site. Oh, and then I gotta try to sell this item. And then I gotta try to sell a T-shirt. And then like they're doing so many things, it's gonna kill you. Just focus on one thing. Sell one thing. Okay? Do me that favor. Sell one thing. And lastly, oh man, this one's huge. Stop buying shiny objects and start investing. See how I said investing? Invest in mentors. I don't care who it is. Any mentor will help you. They will guide you. Okay? So make sure that you stop buying shiny objects and seriously start investing in mentors. You will spend way less money investing in a mentor than you will ever spend in shiny object syndrome and the wasting of money that you've placed in those other shiny objects and what they're teaching you. So that's the huge stuff. So kind of like where we're at is right now, like 2 years ago, we had 0 paying members. So our goal is we look for 10,000 paying members, which is about $500,000 a month, and then we sell around 20,000 units per week. We do all this through ClickFunnels. Like ClickFunnels is building our business. If ClickFunnels wasn't here, I'd probably still be racking my head against the keyboard trying to figure out who the next dude is that's going to try to create a website and then wasting more months and money. ClickFunnels has been the leading factor and is the leading factor in our business today. It has created all this that you're seeing in front of you. And literally, we've become a dominating factor in our space because of ClickFunnels. So that's what I got, guys. I appreciate you. I'm going to stick around. I hope you are too, because we're just getting started here. Later, I'm actually going to show you guys how you can actually hack my current funnels. So the T-shirt funnels that I was showing you, I'm actually going to show you how you can hack that funnel. So if you want to see that, stay on board, stay tuned here, and we'll get that rocking. So if that's exciting, put a whole heck of a yes in the box and be like, yeah, I want to see that, because then I'll look back at the emails and see who's all interested in that. That'd be sweet. Maybe we can do a little connection later. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Lots of cool comments. Man, I've been reading those, and we're going to follow up on those as well. But I can't say enough about this next guy making it happen. He has also been a huge mentor for me. So I'm going to rock and roll that. Mario Fiche, are you going to intro for him?
Yeah, man, I really appreciate that. Thanks for sharing and being candid on where you started and where you are today, because I think it's really easy to take a look at someone where they are now and forget where they started from. So it's great to be able to see that. So very much appreciated. So up next we have Mr. Sean Lineham. Now, besides being one of my oldest and best friends, business partners, college roommates, Sean is an absolute phenom. Now, he's done everything from owning a laundromat, rental properties, flipping real estate, traditional real estate team, lead generation, live events, coaching, online marketing. He's done it all, and he's got a unique skill set of being able to recall any course or book he's ever read and apply it correctly to whatever situation he's working on. I know a lot of people that can remember things that they've read, but not apply it. And Sean can pull stuff that he heard 10 years ago and apply it. It's just every time I'm with him, it blows my mind. So I know that I feel much more comfortable knowing that he's in my corner, and he's a guy that you definitely always want in your corner. So I am happy and honored to introduce to you Mr. Sean Lineham. His story is going to blow you away. Take it away, Sean. You on?
Yeah, I mean, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, brother.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, hey, everybody. First, just let me say, thank you for taking the time out of your day to join us. I'm really excited to be on here with you guys and excited to share some funnel secrets with you. In our short time together, I'm going to share how a simple 4-page funnel generated $42,415 in 3 days. And I'm going to share with you step by step everything from how I drove traffic to the conversion ratios to buyers, what we did on the upsell, and how all the income works. So, but first, who am I? For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sean Lineham, and I've spent the last 15 years in the real estate world. And I'm going to share with you a quick story on how I got to be, a quote, internet marketer. 15 years ago, I read Rich Dad Poor Dad when I was 22, so obviously I'm giving away my age now. But while I was working a consulting job out of college, and if you haven't read Rich Dad Poor Dad yet, I would highly, highly recommend it. And the day I finished the book, I was walking up to my job, and a thought crossed my mind, how would I make money outside of my job? And I kid you not, that day, I was laid off. So it was an enormous sign from the universe validating the fact that I had to figure out how to make my own money. Now that was 15 years ago, and my journey in real estate went from investing in laundromats and rental properties, fixed flips, like Marty said, you name it, I had my hand in it. And obviously, my plan was become the next, Donald Trump, right? Well, that didn't really turn out that way. The market crashed. Then I moved into Keller Williams, where I built a successful team in business, and this is where I first got into internet marketing. No realtor in my market was doing online lead generation, so I saw a niche. I knew the eyeballs were online, and I just attacked it, and I got really, really good at generating real estate leads to the tune of about 500 to 600 leads a month. And then 3 years ago, my wife was 9 months pregnant, and she wanted to stop real estate, stay at home with the kids, so I shut down the team, took some time off, and then I decided to start leveraging my internet lead generation skills to other people's real estate businesses. And then last year, I got to be honest, I got bored generating leads. I shut that down and started dipping my toe into internet sales instead of lead generation last summer. And I saw how much more money there was in actually being able to generate a sale versus generate a lead or being paid for management by watching guys like Trey and some of the other, all-stars. So I just went for it. I shifted from leads to sales. And, after generating about tens of thousands of online buyer and seller leads for real estate, I moved from a lead generator to a sales funnelologist. And don't know if that's a word, just made that up. But as you can see by the graphic there, that's kind of what a sales funnel is like. It's just, taking things, running it through a funnel, and then comes out the other end in order, a bunch of sales. So I made my first online sale August 28th of 2014. So really not that long ago. It was for a real estate course via sales webinar for real estate agents. And making my first sale, honestly, guys, I was hooked. It's just so cool to accomplish something that, you only dream about. And these days, I just help other businesses who have lists, and more importantly, buyers lists, and I help them find money in their database and automate their sales and marketing. So before ClickFunnels, I relied on way too many programs. I had to pay for shopping cart tools and web programmers. And if you see the web programmer, they're smiling because those guys were the only ones, making all the money. Opt-in software and lead pages. It was very hard to build the upsells and downsells. And forget about split testing. I mean, that wasn't really an option. And, there's huge value in the split testing and huge value in the upsells and downsells. As Trey said, a buyer is a buyer is a buyer. They're in buying mode and they just bought from you. We got to make them some other offers, right? We're spending all this time and energy to get people there and generate a buyer. It's imperative that we offer them at least one other thing, if not two. So not to mention the fact that, when we build a sales funnel or invest the time and money, we don't know if it's going to work. So if you don't know if it's going to work, that's more or less gambling, and I gave that up about 4 years ago. So my ClickFunnels story starts the night before Thanksgiving. I reached out to a friend of mine who had a database of about 7,000 people a few days before, and I got this idea from you, Marty. I said, why don't we do a Black Friday promotion together? I said, I'll handle everything, and we'll split the profits. Sound simple? And actually, it wasn't simple because at the time when I made the offer, I was basically writing a check that my butt probably couldn't cash because I knew how long it was taking Trey to build sales funnel. But I saw an opportunity and I went for it. So my friend calls me Wednesday night. He's in his car. He's traveling to Kansas City for Thanksgiving. I'm in my in-laws' basement in Virginia where I'm traveling to Tennessee the next day for Thanksgiving. We agree on an offer, we agree to terms, and suddenly it's 8/14 the night before Thanksgiving, and then we wanted to do a Black Friday special, which is on Friday. So I basically had a day to build out a funnel. And I kept hearing from Trey, how easy ClickFunnels was, and I have to be honest, I signed up that night on blind faith that this was going to work as good as advertised, and signed up for a ClickFunnels account and a Stripe account that Wednesday night at 10 o'clock, and Black Friday was 30 hours away. So what happened? Well, the following 4-page funnel that I'm about to show you was built at noon on Friday, but I still needed a video from the guy I was doing it with, and we couldn't launch till Saturday. So what did we do about it? We changed it from a Black Friday special to a Cyber Monday special where we ended, Monday night at midnight. So we basically had 3 days to market this thing, and we had one source of traffic, and that was email. So, I don't know which guys taken away so far, but some of the lessons in that, quick story so far is really, the universe rewards action, and, you're going to get bumps in a row. We had a Black Friday special. Something happened, we turned it into a Cyber Monday. So nothing's going to ever happen, perfectly. So I'm going to get into, so this is where every funnel starts, right? A whiteboard in a poorly lit dining room. That's my dining room, you can't tell. And as you'll see there, I had mapped out a 5-page funnel with a downsell there. But we didn't have enough time, so we only did the top 4 pages. So, in my opinion, I think every funnel should start on a whiteboard, and doesn't matter where the whiteboard's located. So what we're going to do right now is I'm just going to walk you through the 4 pages that we did, just show you step by step. I'm going to show you what I believed, why some things worked, and then why some things probably could get better now knowing what I know. So this is our first page. Can everybody see that fine? All right, so this is our first page. So all of our emails went out, and this is where we drove traffic to. Obviously, this page was built in ClickFunnels. All these pages were built in under a day. But anyway, we always start with scarcity. and we always have a deadline. And super easy to build these scarcity deadlines with ClickFunnels. I mean, it's literally like drag and drop. So, you know, there's scarcity in every offer that we do. So whatever you guys are doing, you have to have scarcity. And then our headline is simple. It's just what they're going to get out of it. So get started on the path to referral mastery, 60% off, and then we have a ton of exclusive bonuses. I told the story on the last webinar, and I'm going to tell it again. I think it's imperative to everybody that's selling anything to make your life easier. I learned this, I think, from Derek Halprin, Social Triggers. But anyway, it's cupcake. It's a cupcake and 2 cookie story. I don't know. It was like 20 years ago. They did a test where in the cafeteria line they sold a cupcake and 2 cookies for 75 cents. And they sold it, it was like 30%. And then they waited 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, they come back. They sell the cupcake for 75 cents. They give away the 2 cookies for free. And it doubled sales. So we had the same packaging, cupcake, 2 cookies, same price, 75 cents. Different what, guys? Different positioning. We had a cupcakes and the cookies were free, and people love free stuff, so the sales doubled just by breaking out the cookies and saying that they were free. And we do not do any offers online now without free cookies. So if you stay on later in this webinar, you'll see that we have a ton of free cookies for you guys and a ton of cool stuff. But whenever you're selling anything online, you need scarcity, and you need free cookies, or in this case, you know, bonuses. So we had a simple video sales letter that just said, you know, hey, this special lasts till Monday. Here's all the great things that you're going to get out of it. You know, that's another point. When you're selling anything, people buy what they're going to get out of it, not the stuff itself. A call to action on the buy button. And under every buy button, we say, no worries, we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee, because we don't want any of our buyers feeling like they have any risk in a transaction. We're just benefits after benefits of what they'd get out of enrolling. We go over the free bonuses and the value, and then another call to action to enroll now, and then the rest of the page is testimonials, call to action, testimonials, call to action. 30-day money-back guarantee. So very simple page, very easy to build in ClickFunnels. And when they go to the order page, we have we reiterate again what they're going to get out of it. So referral mastery and the value of the bonuses. And then over here we have, how they can contact support for questions, and you'd be surprised at the questions that, people ask. Over here, I think this is very important. This is what we've learned time and time again. The less fields that we have required, the better conversion that we have. So we just get name, address, and because of Stripe, they don't need to pick shipping address, and they don't need to pick even card type. Stripe makes it super easy to be able to require as little amount as possible for someone to submit an order. So, and we've tested, down here again, we summarize what they're going to get and the value. We've tested moving testimonials up and down, and we haven't seen that much of a difference. But I think this page works and worked really well due to the fact that testimonials, proof sells better than anything else. Stacking value and giving away free cookies does really, really well, and then making it really, really easy to fill in an order form. And now that we have a buyer, we make them a one-time offer that's only good if they bought. Like, they can't get this offer anywhere else. So this page is super simple, and this is actually a template in ClickFunnels where we just say, wait, we have one more special offer, right? They're in buying mode. We want to just make them buy one more thing and up our profitability. So it says, don't close this page. You'll be redirected after you watch the video. They watch the video, and There's 2 call to actions here, and then the no thanks. Either way, they're going to the same confirmation page because I just really didn't have time to do a downsell page. This page is not super fancy dancy, you know, it's just we're making them a good offer, we're giving them a great discount, and we're trying to help them more, right? And then last but not least, we go to the thank you page where we tell them, go to your email, you know, save these dates, step 1, and check your email for access and the bonuses. So that's the 4-page funnel that we drove email to from a 7,000, you know, person database. And as you can see here, you know, we had 2,000 people visit, 582 go to the order page. We actually had 192 orders. So, you know, again, you're going to convert a certain amount during the process. But at the end of the day, something works, nothing doesn't. You know, we just took action. We just made a funnel really quick. Didn't try to make it look like the fanciest thing in the world, right? We were just concentrating on giving people value and letting them know that, you know, they have no risk in the transaction. There's money back guarantees. There's no worries, right? So let's look at the stats of this funnel. Day 1, we had 16 orders. So again, 7,000 emails go out. And like Marty had said, you know, this wasn't my product and this wasn't my database. So I was responsible for building the 4-page funnel, and I was responsible for building the email ad copy. First day, we had 16 orders. That was that Saturday. Couldn't go off on Black Friday. Day 2, we had 39 orders. Why? Because the time that this expires is getting tighter and tighter. And then day 3, we sent out 3 emails, one at 8 hours, one at 3 hours, and then a last call with an hour to go. And as you'll see on day 3, we got 137 orders for a 2 times 97, so for $194 course. And that 137 was strictly due to scarcity. As you'll see, there's 75 orders in the last 3 hours. Like, this was going away. This is your last chance. And people just, you know, went in and just started buying because it was going away. Like, that wasn't fake scarcity. It was a Cyber Monday. Cyber Monday ends at midnight, and it's going away. So I had gone to bed at 9 o'clock because put the girls down. We go to bed early. We wake up early. And I literally couldn't sleep because we end our deals at midnight Pacific time. So it ends at 3 in the morning. So I got up at 3 in the morning and I went down, and we had 75 orders between when I went to bed and woke up at 3. And I remember coming up and telling my wife, I'm like, "You're not going to believe this." She's like, "What?" I was like, "Guess how many orders we had since we went to bed?" She's like, "I have no idea. Like, I'm trying to sleep." And I was like, 75. She was just like, "Get out of here." I said, that countdown and that scarcity works like gangbusters. And we haven't made that offer again. I mean, that was Black Friday. So, you know, we're 5-6 months out now. We haven't made that offer, you know, again. So you do need to make a good offer. So it's not just scarcity and countdown. You know, you need to make a good offer. So the final numbers, we had a database that we had emailed to. There were 7,200 people in there. We sent 5 emails. We ended up with 1,654 visitors to the offer page. We ended up doing 194 sales, and then we did 56 upsells at that 97 price point. So we did a 2 times 97 on the initial and kept the 97 on the upsell. And I do believe that's another lessons learned. When we have, it's tough to go from like 7 to 97. You know, when people are buying at a certain price point, if you can stay near that price point, we see increasing conversion ratios because they came there to spend that. They didn't come there to spend 5 times that on the next offer. So that's just something to keep in mind. So the total income was $42,415. Really off just an idea of doing a Black Friday special that turned into Cyber Monday. You know, putting that upsell. You know, if we didn't do that upsell, we were actually thinking. Here's another one, guys. We were actually thinking of doing it for $97, And then another friend of mine who sells millions of dollars worth, he says do 2 times 97 and you won't see that much in a conversion ratio. So instead of 97, we made it to 2 times 97, which obviously doubled that income because we just, we didn't see that much in conversion, and then we would have left $5,600 on the table if we didn't do an upsell at $97. So so there's some lessons there. When you're doing physical products, here's just some quick tips that I learned. We paid for the shipping and handling. That's really dumb, but we're moving really fast. But if you guys are ever going to sell physical products, definitely charge shipping and handling, and Trey will tell you that. He doesn't see too much of a decrease, and you shouldn't be paying for it. Number 2, installing chat on all pages. This is something I got from Trey, and anybody that doesn't have chat on pages, you're losing out because these people are telling you what is wrong with your page. When we did 2 payments, they said, is it the payment today and then in 30 days? Or that 30 days money back guarantee, how does that work? Like these, it's unreal what people will tell you. And we use Pure Chat, $5 a month, Pure Chat. Easy to install, super, super easy, $5 a month to have your clients telling you basically what you need to communicate on your page. Number 3 is have an order offline number if possible, because we got a ton of emails or chats. Like some people just don't feel comfortable, ordering online. It just is what it is. So if you want to increase sales, have them the ability to order offline, or you can do exit pops and just say, hey, email this if you'd like to order offline, and we'll have somebody reach out. Just giving people more options and making it easier to do business with you. Number 4 is huge. It has lock on all pages. So let me show you what that means. Let me see if you guys can see this. See this lock up here? I don't know. It's kind of tiny, but next to the URL, the browsers let people know whether that page is secure. So on your order pages, you better have that lock, because otherwise the browser is going to tell them that it's not secure, and they're going to get scared and they're not going to order. So make sure you guys have that lock on every single page, and especially the order page. And then last but not least, something works, nothing doesn't. Is the funnel perfect? Absolutely not. But it didn't matter. It's just like I made a promise. I did whatever I had to do. I'm building out this funnel on the way to, Thanksgiving. We get to Tennessee. I ducked back into a room, and my wife's like, you're not going to spend all night back here, are you? I was like, no, but, we go live tomorrow, and I need to get this thing done. So I didn't even know how to use ClickFunnels, and I was still able to, build out a funnel in pretty much no time. And that's really what impressed me the most was, it was easy to integrate the tools needed, and really you only need 2. And now you only need 1 because they have the email capabilities. So you just need an autoresponder and a Stripe, and you're up and running. And to integrate them is a matter of just clicking buttons. You don't need to be a web programmer. I just drag and drop and just edit text and just click some stuff, change the size, change the countdown timer. It's just literally drag and drop, point and click, and then just doing some edits. Also, ClickFunnels support is awesome. These guys, it was Thanksgiving, and I was emailing them and probably just, Funnel 101 stuff, and these guys were getting back to me on Thanksgiving, which I don't know about you guys, but if people were emailing me on Thanksgiving, I would have told them that they would have to wait, I got a family and a wife who, wring my neck if I was in here responding to emails, and they were helping me get this thing off the ground. And last but not least, the ability to test. Everybody always asks me, what do you think, what do you think, what do you think? And I was like, I have no idea. It doesn't matter what I think. It matters what the consumer thinks. It matters the person behind their computer that's going to get out their credit card and make a purchase. It matters what they think, and we need to test And then when we have a winner, we spend a little bit of resources to try to beat the winner. But if we're not testing, we're definitely missing out on some money and some sales. So, Marty asked me, if you gave people one implementation nugget, what would it be? And at the end of the day, it's pretty simple. It's, take action. Every thought, every action creates a ripple effect. So when you're taking any sort of action, this sends a message to the universe that you're serious about creating some waves, and it starts momentum. And I tell everybody, money follows speed. And the more momentum that you have, the easier it is to make money. And don't ever lose that momentum once you get it. So how can you guys benefit from some of this stuff? Stick around. We have a cool offer at the end where I include the exact email copy that I use to generate the 1,800 visitors, the exact sales pages. One of the coolest things about ClickFunnels is the ability to clone funnels. And I can't state that enough because that really allows people to have, a shortcut and not have to build from scratch or start from scratch. So anyway, so that's what I have for you guys today. Stick around. James is up next. He's going to show you how he's using this in his consulting business.
Sean, thank you so much. That was amazing. And I just, you're one nugget of, taking action, and that sends ripples through the universe. I felt like when you did that funnel and you created it with the speed at which you did, it was like a coming out party for you because you were like, hey, I'm here, I'm going to move quick, I'm going to do it. So this is just a question for me. Since launching that first campaign, what's been going on since then? It's real easy to do one campaign. What have you been up to since then? What kind of results are you getting?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy. You got to believe things before you see it, right? I mean, I just believe that we were going to make some sales before the sales came in. You just got to take action for something to happen. And you're right, that kind of was my confidence booster and really generating the believability that I could, sell something online or sell something from sending a couple emails. And now it's fun. Now it's like a game, and now it's like, how do I create, more momentum? How do I move, faster? But, sitting here today, 4 or 5 months later, through the 2 Stripe accounts, we've done over 200,000 in sales since Black Friday.
Wow. That's amazing. It's been fun to watch, that's for sure. And really appreciate it. If you guys have questions for Sean about anything that he talked about, any of his takeaways, what he did, how he did it, just type them in the chat box, and we'll make sure that Sean sticks around and he can answer any questions you have. So,
yep.
Thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate it. All right. And up next, we have James P. Friel, the Contract CEO. Now, James and I first met a few years ago, and we hit it off instantly when he insulted my car, which was, I thought, very nice of him.
I thought it required insulting, and that's probably why I did it.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. And that kicked off, that was the beginning of a very lovely relationship. And over the past few years, James and I, he's become one of my best friends, and I can honestly say, he's one of the smartest guys that I know. And what's interesting is he has this engineer mind, but with a business focus. So he can take, I guess it's the way you look at it, is you take business chaos and he can cut to the core of any issue. And like a true engineer, just say, okay, well, here's what you need to do, here's what you need to focus on. And, I know me, I look at these situations and I see all these different variables, and he's able to help me just, really simplify and get to the core of things. So.
And there it is. So welcome, James P. Friel, Contract CEO.
Here we go. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, man. We can hear you.
Okay, good. I thought I lost you for a minute, but I guess not. So, hi, everybody. Marty, Trey, Sean, Yada, it's absolutely awesome to be on here with you guys today. I love what we've put together, and for everybody who's attending, thank you for being here, and thank you for being part of this. Thank you for making an investment in your time to learn this new information. And like the guy said, I'm a consultant, and I go by contract CEO. And what that really means is I help entrepreneurs to create predictable and sustainable businesses. And so what I'd like to share with you guys is just real briefly a little bit about my background. As Marty said, I started out many years ago as an engineering student, and then worked for some very big companies. I worked for Symantec Software in our engineering department, and my job was basically to understand how customers think. How do we get people to be able to use our software better, to enhance the customer experience, and how do we get in their minds and be able to, you know, add more value and sell more products and that sort of thing. And from there, I went and worked at HSBC, where I was the global head of digital strategy there, and rolled out different website strategies and things that would enable us to make massive impact. And it was a super giant scale to work on, and I feel very fortunate to be able to have done that. And, you know, at the time we had 300,000 plus employees in the company, and orchestrating this stuff was really interesting. But as with all good things, sometimes it's time to move on to something better. And I had wanted to be out on my own and running my own firm for a while. And so about 3.5 years ago, I started a firm called Quantus, and that's my consulting firm where I help business owners to build systems and marketing and automation systems. And most recently, I've started an accelerator, business accelerator called The Boardroom. In any case, I think each and every one of us on this call, as you can tell, did not have a straight path to where we are today. And if you're like us, you probably haven't made a straight line from wherever you are today to wherever you started. And that's kind of why I use these squiggle lines and everything. And to just represent that sometimes you don't know when the next great thing is going to be available to you. And for me, ClickFunnels is one of those great things. And so that's why I'm so excited about being part of this, being part of ClickFunnels All-Stars, and being able to share with you guys what it's done for me. And you've heard from Trey and Sean, and so they've told you. And so I put this little slide together, kind of tongue-in-cheek, Life BCF, Life Before ClickFunnels. And so if you looked at the previous slide, you know that some of those companies that I was involved in were very technologically oriented. And early in college, I was doing actual hand coding to build web pages and software programs and things like that. And so life before ClickFunnels was, all right, I need a landing page, or I need some kind of funnel, or I need something. And it was very much, okay, cool, well, I know a guy, and he happens to know a guy, and I think somebody that they know could be the right guy for you. And you're like, wow, that's going to instill a ton of confidence in me to feel like my project's going to get done, right? And fortunately, a lot of my friends were were nerds like me, so it was easy to find somebody, but it wasn't for everybody else. And then along came Elance or Odesk or any of these other ones like that have popped up since then, and it became a little bit easier. You're like, okay, well, at least now I know where to go and find talent. But if you were like me, sometimes you just wanted to get it done fast. You wanted to be able to just sit down and do it. And you still had to outsource, and you're like, I'm not sure I'm crazy about this. Or you decide to become really, really good at WordPress. A lot of people went that route. I just didn't want any part of it, so I didn't do that. I went the Elance and Odesk route. And with WordPress, it was like, okay, cool. I'm going to become an expert in this. I'm going to become good at it and put some landing pages and funnels together that are going to help make me money. And so things continued to evolve, and then we had a leading page creator. And you guys know there's lead pages, right? And it was good to get something done, but the pages looked the same, and I felt very constrained, especially when, working, with a private client. These guys want to have something that's uniquely them. They want to have something that feels like their brand, their company, the thing that they're promoting. And so lead pages was good to get things up fast, but the pages looked the same, kind of like row homes. And so it just left, us feeling, kind of lacking. And so I think it must have been very shortly after Trey called Sean to tell him about ClickFunnels that Sean called me and he said, hey, you need to check out ClickFunnels. And I was like, okay. And within a weekend, I mentally had switched over that I'm only using this for my landing pages and for my funnels from now on. And within a week to 2 weeks, everything was completely built out in ClickFunnels. And so I wanted to share some interesting things that you may not think ClickFunnels is capable of here for some of the projects that I've been involved in. And this example that I've got up on the screen here is actually a landing page for a hotel that's a client of mine. And we were able to build this entire thing in ClickFunnels, including the ability to find a room for the hotel straight from this landing page. As multimedia content, social media integration, super easy to find what I'm looking for here, right? So we actually drove traffic to this page to engage people and then to have them book their rooms for this particular event that was taking place on the Daytona 500. And so this is the level of flexibility that ClickFunnels has, and we found much better response and conversion rates by getting people to book through here than just sending them to the website that didn't really have anything to do with the event, didn't have any stickiness, and sometimes you're on sites and people aren't really sure where to go. So we just wanted to test this, and it worked out really well. And so I just want to share this with you guys as an example of one of the things that I'm currently using in my consulting practice for my clients to give them pages that stand out, pages that are simple, pages that convert, and pages that keep people engaged. And the coolest part about this was there was no crazy outsourced resource required to pull this off. I didn't have to learn to code anything. I have a page that looks dramatically different from many other pages because of all the tools and flexibility that I have. So we thought that was pretty cool, and so we did it. And then to get clients for myself, I have a Tripwire campaign, and it's about getting people into the training room, which is a series of videos that I have to help people understand the frameworks that I use for diagnosing these business challenges and how to think through them. And so I created my entire Tripwire campaign right here in ClickFunnels. And this is an example of one of those landing pages. But effectively, I've found, and I am a big Infusionsoft user. You don't have to be an Infusionsoft user to use ClickFunnels. I enjoy using Infusionsoft. I think it's really powerful, and for me, it's what I use in my own business and with clients. And so I wanted to share this with you as an example. But what I do is I have Infusionsoft operating the back end. So where the forms and the data collection and where do we process people next after they've taken certain actions, and the landing pages and the front end of this can all be built out in ClickFunnels very, very easily. And effectively, this campaign that I built, we're able to duplicate some things inside Infusionsoft to save time. And then on the front end in ClickFunnels, it's remarkably easy to just duplicate something and then change the content so that you can save a lot of time and energy. And so I use ClickFunnels as my front end, Infusionsoft as the back end, and I know that those guys over at ClickFunnels are working around the clock on even potentially trying to do some more back end stuff. But for the time being, this is the way I have it set up, and it works super, super well. So this is the training room members area. So if we go back here, this is what the landing page looks like, and this is where we're trying to get people interested. Where we're saying, okay, here, this is what you can get. This is what comes with this. Blah blah blah. This page is super fast to create. I could probably create this page within like 15 minutes, 20 minutes if I had to start from scratch right now. But then when people buy, I send them into the training room members area. So this is where all the videos actually are. And so ClickFunnels is a great option if you're looking to get rid of confusing, difficult to use members area software. I previously have used Kajabi, I've used Customer Hub, and I will say without question the training room members area inside of ClickFunnels was the easiest thing for me to build, and it required very, very little effort once I knew what content I wanted to put in there. And this is very simple looking. but you can get a little bit more elaborate, and each one will allow you to have files and downloads and things like that. So I know just in my own business, if I have to pay an extra, $80 to $100 a month for members area type software, that's an additional expense. And what I love about ClickFunnels is it was able to just basically pay for itself by taking away that expense that I had. So I have this whole members area built out in here, and it's very fast to be able to create that. So there's like a few examples above and beyond what Trey is doing with his T-shirts and Teespring, and what Sean is doing with his Black Friday sale and the stuff that he shared with you. I just kind of wanted to share these examples about how you can do something like we did for the hotel, and do something that you would ordinarily take to build out an entire tripwire sequence, an entire members area that really only took less than a couple hours to get that thing completely rocking and rolling. And so I'm like thrilled with it. So that's the content that I really want to share with you guys. And now I want to get into the ClickFunnels All-Stars program. So Trey has alluded to it, Sean has alluded to it, and I'm not going to allude to it. I'm going to tell you exactly what the heck ClickFunnels All-Stars program is. So what you're going to get is you're going to get a 2-week free trial to ClickFunnels. And what this is going to give you is everything you need to build opt-in page funnels, sales funnels, launch funnels, the membership sites that I just spoke about, webinar funnels, and even automated webinar funnels, order pages, and then there's like a whole lot more, right? And one of the things that I want to make very, very clear is if you're on this webinar today, regardless of whether you have an account or not, you are ready, you are able to still get a free trial. So if you've had a free trial before, you can still get another free trial because of our arrangement with Russell and the guys at ClickFunnels, and they're doing some super cool stuff, and we're just very excited to be sharing this information, getting everybody the results that they're really looking for. So even if you had a free trial, you can go ahead and get another one. So that's really cool. But what about the bonuses? We are about to like bonus the fool out of you guys. And this is the part that we got most excited about when putting together this webinar. So it's really time for an irresistible offer. And if you guys haven't read this book, I strongly encourage you to read it because it's going to help you make much better offers in your sales and your marketing. According to the guy who wrote it, he says he's going to help you sell your product or service in 3 seconds or less. So let's see how well we do. So the ClickFunnels All-Star bonuses. So bonus number 1 is actually a copy and paste funnel of Trey's T-shirt funnel. So that's exactly right. The funnel that Trey went through with you, we are going to take and right out of his ClickFunnels and right into yours. You're going to be able to put it right in there and have everything that he's already built, so you don't have to build it from scratch. You can literally just change the content and update it to whatever you're working on. The second bonus that we're going to give you guys is a webinar of Trey's State of the Teespring address. So anybody who's interested in understanding more about Teespring, understanding more about how Trey was able to sell that many T-shirts and consistently dominate the game, you definitely want to check this out because it's a very, very valid business for you to do if you don't have a product already. Like Trey said, he started from complete scratch. I mean, 2 years ago, he's sitting there selling insurance, and today the guy's doing amazing. He's one of our inspirations, and he's inspiring to a whole bunch of other people. So you definitely want to listen and watch this webinar that Trey put together if you're interested in selling T-shirts and doing anything with Teespring. And even if you're not, quite honestly, guys, it's going to give you some really great ideas. So when you sign up for a 14-day trial today, what you're going to get is full instant access to every feature of ClickFunnels: the opt-in pages, sales funnels, launch funnels, membership sites, webinar funnels, the automated webinar funnels, the order pages, and all of that. You're going to get the first bonus, which is a copy and paste, a literal copy and paste funnel from Trey's ClickFunnels right into yours. And that's a value of, I mean, I don't even honestly know how to put a value on it. I think this is modest, to be quite honest. You know, $15,000 for what Trey has spent, you know, hours and hours and hours perfecting. It's yours for free as a bonus when you sign up today. Second bonus is Trey's State of the Teespring address, also valued at $1,247. So far, notice I say so far, the total bonus value is $16,244. Now, if all this did was finally give you profitable funnels, would it be worth it to sign up for the trial? If all it did was save you massive amounts of time, would it be worth it to sign up? Finally, if it let you feel in control of finally being able to build pages and members areas that are unique and flexible, would it be worth it? And for the love of God, if it just got you implementing faster, would it be worth it? So now we'll move on to bonus number 3, and this is where I want to give you some of the things I shared from my own funnel. This is my Tripwire funnel. Copy and paste this right into your ClickFunnels. Value $34.97, and all you have to do is swap out my content for yours, and you've got the entire thing. My second bonus is a copy and paste of my high-ticket consulting funnel. So this is what I do. I work with people who want to really go deep and have a relationship with me where I help them implement and I help show them what to do. And so this funnel that is the fourth bonus is the funnel that I use to be able to find clients like that. So if you're in the coaching or consulting space, this is going to be very attractive, very interesting for you to be able to do that. And the value of that is $99.97. So, and because I'm in consulting, I think the one thing that I'm always thinking is, well, what is one client worth to me? Is it 5K, 10, 25 more? And the question you should be asking yourself if you are coaching high-ticket clients, or quite frankly, even lower ticket items, is how much would you be willing to pay to get that client? It's a super important question, and it's real easy math when you have high-ticket stuff. But how much would you be willing to pay on a monthly basis, a weekly basis, or even a daily basis to get one of those clients? And so when you sign up for the 14-day trial today, what you're going to get is the full instant access to every feature of ClickFunnels. This isn't like something where we're hiding some of the features from you and you only get the really good ones when you sign up, after you pay. You're going to get everything from day one, including the opt-in pages, all the stuff around the sales funnels, the launch funnels, the membership sites, the webinar funnels, the order pages. Then you're going to get bonus number 1, which is the copy and paste of Trey's t-shirt funnel. Bonus number 2, the webinar of Trey's State of the Teespring address. Bonus number 3, copy and paste of my training room Tripwire funnel. Bonus number 4, copy and paste of my high-ticket consulting funnel. And right now we've got a total value just for signing up for a 14-day free trial of $29,238. Now, let's get crazy, shall we? Bonus number 5, a copy and paste of the exact funnel that Sean Lynham just walked you through for his Fast Cash Black Friday funnel. Again, I don't even know how to put a value on it. Sean just told you how much they've made, a couple $100,000. Okay, so you're getting it for free. That seems like a pretty good deal. We put a value of $99.97 on that thing. Bonus number 6. Sean talked to you about a couple of lessons that he learned when building that first funnel. How valuable would it be to have a full list of the 35 lessons that he learned when creating his funnel? That's yours also as bonus number 6. And bonus number 7 is a headline swipe file. That's 100 headlines proven to get you results. So now you have 2 choices. Option 1, you can do nothing, which is totally okay. You can continue to do what you've been doing and get results that you're used to. And if you want results that you're used to, then option 1 is the option for you. If you want different results, if you want faster progress, if you want to accelerate yourself, then pick option 2. Sign up now for the trial, take advantage of all these bonuses we're giving away, and take our stuff and put it right into your ClickFunnels and let it start working for you. And let's be very real here. This is a free 14-day trial. You have 0 risk, and even if you don't want to continue, just keep the bonuses. You can keep everything that we're giving you, and you don't need to worry about it. It's our gift to you. So when you sign up for the 14-day trial today, what you're going to get is full access to every feature of ClickFunnels We're not holding anything back. Instantly and immediately, you'll get opt-in pages, sales funnels, launch funnels, membership sites, webinar funnels, automated webinar funnels, all the order pages, and a whole lot more. You're going to get bonus number 1, the copy and paste funnel from Trey's t-shirt funnel, valued at $14,997. Bonus number 2, a webinar of Trey's State of the Teespring address, valued at $12.47. Bonus number 3, copy and paste of my training room tripwire funnel, valued at $34.97. Bonus number 4, copy and paste of my high-ticket consulting funnel, valued at $99.97. Bonus number 5, Sean's Fast Cash Black Friday funnel, valued at $99.97. Bonus 6, Sean Lynham's 35 lessons I learned when creating my first funnel, valued at $297. Bonus number 7, a headline swipe file, 100 headlines proven to get you results, valued at $297, for a total value of $40,329. This is the value of a new European sports car. Like, you could go out and you could buy a nice Audi A3, you could buy a nice BMW 3 Series. Like, we are giving you the equivalent of that simply for signing up for a 14-day trial today. And we just wanted to make you guys an offer that was so crazy because we're so excited about the difference that ClickFunnels has made in our business. We want to share that with you, and we're literally sharing that with you through the awesome functionality that ClickFunnels has about copying and pasting funnels. And so when you sign up for the 14-day trial today, you're going to get access to everything in ClickFunnels, including all those insane bonuses that we put together for you guys. And we would just like to take this moment and first look at this cool group of people that we put together in San Diego just a few weeks ago. And from us to you, just thank you so much for spending your time with us here today. We're going to have time for question and answer, so if you haven't been putting questions into the question box, go for it. Go ahead and do that. And thank you so much for being part of this today. Marty, I'll hand the controls back over to you in case there's anything else that you want to add at this point too.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. I really appreciate that. Yeah, you can keep that screen for now, Jim. All right. Is there anything else you want to add before we dive into the questions? Well, I guess that is a no. So let's get going right into the questions. Oh, and people need to know where to go to get the bonuses and everything else. So if you go to ClickFunnelsAllstars.com, that is where you're going to be able to get the bonuses. And I believe Yada is going to be putting that into the chat box, but it's just simply ClickFunnelsAllstars.com, and we can go from there. All right, so let's get started in the questions. This one, James, since you were just talking about this, is there a monthly fee after the trial for ClickFunnels? James?
Sorry, can you hear me? I think I got muted.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you now.
Yeah, there is. For ClickFunnels, it's a $97 a month fee for the system, and that, if you want to stay after the 14-day trial, that's what it is. It's pretty straightforward, and you get everything that we talked about. So you'll never have to worry about how to build one of these pages again, and the truth is, you'll have all the templates that we're putting right there inside of you, so you should be able to take good advantage of that.
Okay, good. And we had another question, and this is just an interesting one because both you and Sean touched on it, but since you're on, you can answer, James. And it's just, we're talking about what programs does this replace? And I think that's a big one because, if you're saying, okay, well, after the trial, it's $97 a month, how much was it before ClickFunnels to operate with the same type of functionality? And what tools were you using?
I would say easily several $100s a month. Because you still had to have something that was going to build landing pages, whether you're using lead pages or not, and you had to have somebody to do it. Like, if you had a guy in your office who was ruthlessly efficient at building landing pages, would you be willing to pay him $97 a month? Probably, unless you're just like really, really cheap, and then you're like, no, I only want to pay no dollars a month for that. So there's the cost of reduced labor. I think is something that a lot of people don't realize. Right? You can easily spend hundreds of, if not thousands of dollars a month on resources to help you build this stuff out. So that's the first and foremost thing. The second thing is just the membership site stuff alone. I know Kajabi runs from close to $100 and on up. Customer Hub, which is the membership site tied to Infusionsoft, is like $80 at least. And so right there, those two things, if you don't have to have them anymore, they pay for ClickFunnels just right out of the gate. Then let's see, what other software? If you're doing very basic autoresponder stuff, like where you just want to have a page where somebody opts in and then they get a download, you can actually handle all of that from inside ClickFunnels, which is super cool. And so if you don't have like complex autoresponders and all that stuff in the background, you can actually just send people stuff directly from ClickFunnels, and so you might be able to get rid of some more software. So I would say conservatively, and what I experienced in my business was between people who are going to pay to do things or have people do them to, and have that help, and the membership software, and the fact that there's, no other software that you need, I think it easily saved me probably $300 to $400 a month.
Wow, that's incredible, especially because it's all in one place. Because I know one of the biggest things with technology is, okay, you have to master, let's say, all 4 of those technologies, and then integrating them. It's like you need a computer science degree or a team of people that understand each one and how they integrate together. So that's just wild to me that we could do that all without, just one product. So,
well, you're right. Like, it totally eliminates the learning curve. So if I only have to learn one thing, how much faster am I going to be?
Exactly.
And you've got to place a value on your time. I mean, one of the things that we all somehow forget is that our time is probably our most precious resource.
No question about it. It's our only non-renewable resource.
It's the only non-renewable one. I can go out and I can make more money. I can go out and I can find this, I can find that. You've shown me one person who's found a way to make more time. Doesn't exist. And so if this just reduces the amount of time it takes me to get something live and start testing my funnel and start bringing cash in the bank, it's like, yes, major win.
Yep. All right. So this is just a question. Okay, so you go to ClickFunnels All-Stars. Can you just show what we're going to see just so we know what we're getting into? And Sean, I believe you're on now, and you can kind of walk through that. So Sean, if you could unmute yourself, that would be great.
All right. I'm unmuted.
All right, like that. Can you walk everybody through what that's going to look like when they go to ClickFunnelsAllStars.com?
Where did I have that? Oops, cancel. Asked me to leave the webinar.
You don't want to do that.
You caught me off guard. I
right.
am. Well, hold on. Hold on. No, here we go. Don't worry about it.
All right.
So when you go to ClickFunnels All-Stars, here's basically what you're going to see, right? You're going to go to. Hold on, it's loading. Did I press enter?
Got some Pennsylvania.
All right, so it's going to go to basically your free trial awaits, and again, you'll be able to shows you all the stuff that you get access to. Let me just put in a name here. Let's put in a phone number. Doing this live, obviously. Create that already exists. Put an email that doesn't.
All right.
And then here, Step 2 is the billing. They tell you why they need it. Again, guys, there's no contracts. You can cancel at any time. And then Russell gives away some really cool training for, next to nothing. If you take it, great. If you don't take it, that's completely fine too. It doesn't affect your bonuses. And then you just click the Activate My Account Now. And then when you log into your ClickFunnels account, you will see a ClickFunnels All-Stars bonuses link, and you just click that link, and you'll have access to everything that we just talked about. So it's a two-step sign-up, free 14-day trial. Whether or not you get the training that Russell's offering there or not doesn't affect your bonuses. Click to activate your account. You log in, and then you'll be able to see everything.
Okay, very good. And just to let you know, guys, the section where you're going to get all the bonuses, it was created in ClickFunnels. So we got that. Now, we have a question for Mr. Trey, and let's just get right into that. Let's see. This one I like. What are some of the other products that the All-Stars have sold? I think that's a good one for you, Trey, because you've been a little bit all over the place in terms of what you sell and how you sell it. It really doesn't matter.
Absolutely. That is an excellent question. Let me make sure we got everything going on here. I think okay, yeah, cool. All right, so basically, yeah, that's a really good question because we have like 45 students in one of our masterminds, then we have about 18 in another one, and that's what we go over. Like we go over all this stuff, and so we actually start with T-shirts, right? Like that's where our students start, but then we start migrating them into the ClickFunnels accounts really, really heavily because there's just so much money to be made. And one cool little thing, like we're going to answer about 3 questions here in one Mr. All Over It, but Here's the deal: is there's a couple questions going on that's saying, what if I don't have a product? That's a good question. Or what if I don't have spending money to do ads? So what we've done is what we're currently doing is for those type of students is we do what's called an arbitrage. And what we do is we basically create a funnel with Amazon products. And that, how crazy is that, right? Because Amazon does all the fulfilling, it does all the shipping for us. It shows us how many units are left in stock, and we can depend on it because it goes out pretty quickly. We've noticed that a lot of customers don't really mind that the package arrives in an Amazon box or from an Amazon box. But what we do is we go out and find products that our audience likes, and we put a little bit of a markup on it. So if we find a $10 item, we might charge $15 or $20 for it. And really what that's doing, Marty, is that's letting us know if the product's able to sell and if we're able to sell it through our ClickFunnels accounts. And if so, then we reach out to manufacturers, right? We reach out and start getting it wholesale. So we're getting it for now like $3 and selling it for $15 or $20. And it's a great way because it's a sea. Amazon's absolutely a sea of products that you can mark up and ship out. And the thing is like what's cool is when you ship from Amazon, you can click a little checkbox that says, don't include the invoice. So they don't see like, you actually, did a $12 product and you charge them for $15 or what, whatever. So most people we've yet to have a phone call come into our office and say, hey, I see that you charged me a little bit more for this product, and I should have paid this. So same thing goes with Sam's Club and Walmart, right? You can go to Walmart and buy one product, and then walk down to their same store called Sam's and buy it for a totally different price. So we're not doing anything different than what's already happening in the wonderful world that we live in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like a proving ground. Once you test, you get your proof of concept down. People, want this product, and then once you take the risk out of it by realizing that people are going to buy it, then you can look for manufacturers and go down that road. But you don't have to start there, and I think that's what's nice. You don't have to have a huge outlay of capital to do this.
Absolutely, and it all starts by getting a 14-day trial. Like ClickFunnelsAllstars.com, grab the trial, and grab the bonuses. Like when you log in, like Sean was saying, you get all of our bonuses. Like you get everything Friel just went over. I mean, it's absolutely astonishing. So, yeah, great question.
Okay. Trey, I appreciate that. Stay on the line here. I got a question for James, and This one's, if I'm already a ClickFunnels member, I assume I cannot get access to these bonuses, question mark. So the real question is, if you're already a member, you're on the webinar, can you get access to the bonuses?
Yep. Yes, sir, you can.
A little yep.
Yep, that's an easy question. I like those easy questions, but the answer is yes. So like I said just a couple minutes ago, we're so enthusiastic about being able to promote this as a new way of doing business. We all believe in putting good things out there and abundance, and so it's like, look, you get it if you sign up today, and if you happen to already have an account and you're past your 14-day trial, then you can send us a message at bonuses@clickfunnelallstars.com, and that's bonuses, plural, at clickfunnelallstars.com, and we'll hook you up. We'll make sure you get the bonuses.
Okay, very cool. And so if their trial expired, can they start that trial up again?
Correct. They can. Yes.
Oh, very good. Okay. Very nice. Next question I have is for Sean, and this one's a little bit specific to a certain business, but it just says, can this be used in real estate sales and marketing? And Sean, I know that you've done a ton in real estate, so I thought this one would be a good one for you.
Yes. Can you still hear me?
Absolutely.
All right, cool. So this can be used in any industry, and I'm looking at some of the other questions, here asking, hey, our website's no longer useful. And all really a funnel is, guys, is the ability to make people additional offers, right? So they opt in for something for free, and then we make them an offer for something for paid. Or they bought something, and then we're just making them another offer that kind of complements or would solve another problem. In real estate, what we're doing with ClickFunnels is when people opt in, we make them an offer to fill out a VIP buyer app or a VIP seller app. And then one of the things that we've done recently with ClickFunnels and real estate was, now that they filled out an app, we ask them, we use a calendaring tool to say, hey, when would be a good time for a free consultation, right? So all a funnel is, guys, is just, getting people's information or getting them to buy, and then just making congruent additional offers. So in real estate, we give away something for free, free list of foreclosures or, home value, and then we say, hey, we make them an offer on a VIP app for some additional stuff, and then we make an offer to meet. So I think it's universal. It can be used in any industry. I don't care if it's real estate. I don't care if it's chiropractic. I really don't care what it is. It's just the ability to make additional offers one after another while they're in the, buying or information gathering process. And for me, when I was generating a gazillion real estate leads, it was basically generate the lead, now I got to chase you down. And now what we do is we generate the lead, and then we have them fill out an app, so I know they're a little more serious, and then the app strategically able to extract information so I know how to follow up and convert. And then lastly, asking them if they would like to meet. So now I have ClickFunnels basically scheduling, appointments for me, and which is super cool. So again, guys, this can be used in any industry because it's the ability to make them additional offers.
Exactly. All right. Thanks, Sean. And, stay on the line here. This is one, that we get quite a bit, and it's about traffic. So let's say you have an offer or don't. Maybe you're a brick and mortar business. Where do you get your traffic? And talk about what's best and working right now. And Trey, why don't you kick it off, and, I'll kind of fill in some of the gaps, because I think, with traffic, it's all about being where people are. And for each different type of business and each different niche, people are in different places. So, there's going to be some things that work, when you're paying for ads, that work really well in social media. And there's also, some niches that work really well more in a search engine where people are, have a specific buying intent. But Trey, why don't you just talk a little bit about what's working best for you right now, and based on the type of product that you're offering.
Okay, yeah, that's awesome. So a lot of you guys a lot of people come to us and ask that exact question, like, where do I get the traffic? Like, how do I know that that they're going to convert and stuff? So we always start with Facebook right now. That's like the easiest because there's like the targeting is just absolutely phenomenal. Like I remember sitting down with our CPA when we first told him like what we did, and I was like, yeah, we can do like this targeting on what's called Facebook, and like we could target a guy like who's mid-aged, 40 to 60 or 50 to 60, who makes $100,000 and drives a BMW 7 Series. And he just like looked at me really wide-eyed. He's like, that's what I drive. I didn't really realize he drove a BMW 7 Series, but he's like, you just seriously targeted me. I was like, yeah, I can target like just you. Isn't that cool? And so it's super cool because Facebook has the ability to do that. So it's a really good source to start with. But I got to say, like once you get the undertow of that, like we'll spend, like when we were starting, right? Like we're doing $10 a day and like $20 a day, which is totally cool. Like you guys need to be just like okay with that. But as you know, like you'll start growing, and then you're like, man, I can do more and I can scale, and like the numbers start making sense. And so then you start scaling to $200 a day and $500 a day and $1,000 a day, and like right now we'll be around $5,000 to $10,000 a day. And when we're doing that kind of scale, we go through the audiences obviously a lot quicker. Like we're just like a bulldozer, just like just going through these audiences, and we wear our ads out like extremely quick. So once you monetize Facebook and once you understand, and it's a great place to just prove your funnels. It's so cheap. The traffic's so cheap here. But then we start going out to bigger lists, such as like I don't know if you guys know this, but magazines they sell their list. Like they sell who buys their magazines, so you can actually mail them, you can email them. There's solo drops, so you can do something that like this stuff we're doing too is we're calling up these companies like Bass Pro Shop and Cabela's, and we're like, hey, can we buy your email list? And they're like, yeah, what how many what do you want to send? And they have an email list of like 1.2 million. So we know our offer works, and we'll say you rent their list, right, quote unquote. And so they send out an email on their behalf. So it comes from Bass Pro Shop and says, hey, you should check out this X, Y, and Z product that one of our partners is doing. So that's what's really cool, is this just keeps on expanding. Another thing is you have to be careful of terms of service. So Facebook might not be your source if you fall within those terms of service, such as like you started like a gambling, maybe you do gambling, or they don't like that, right? They're restricted. They're restricted to like pornography stuff. They're restricted to medicine and pills, and a lot of restrictions are there too. So if you're in those type of categories, Facebook's not going to work. So that's when you have to reach out to other means, such as those magazines or subscription-based products or different websites like website hosting ads. So it just really depends what you're looking to do. Like who like you were saying, Marty, like who's your client? Like who's your avatar? And find out where they are. If you find out where they are, I guarantee you'll be able to sell them.
Yeah, exactly. No, and that makes a lot of sense. And I like what you're doing. You're taking your testing ground, you're proving the concept, you're proving the audience, and you're saying, okay, now that we've proved it, let's continue to expand and ramp that up and spend more money getting people in the door, because we know that what's going to pop out on the other end is going to be profitable. So, definitely very wise, and appreciate that input. So, kind of on a macro level, there's a lot of different ways, in the digital world to get people to your offer. Sean talked about email, and he didn't have a list, so what he did is, he partnered with someone that did. And Trey talked about renting lists or buying, or at the same time you can build your own list. So that's with email. You can also do organic social media, going out there, posting every day, multiple times a day on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all those things to get people interested in what you have to sell. There's also organic traffic, and what that means is in search engines you can either pay to get placed, or you can work on your organic listings, which means it comes up in the search engines highly when people search for what you're looking for. Obviously, that's an art and a science. Not going to be getting into the details of all these, and the next is paid channels. And with paid channels, in search engines, there's Google, Bing, pay-per-click, and display networks, and there's retargeting networks and everything else. And then last but not least, there's paid social. Trey talked about Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and it's really taking a look at where your customers are. If you're a roofer in Secaucus, what you'd want to do is, typically people, I would think, in that type of business would go into Google and type in and say, hey, I'm looking for a roofer in Secaucus, and you want to make sure that you're where they're looking. So something that's kind of fun in social, I have a friend that runs a painting and wine class type scenario, and social's really big. When you're going out and you're making a painting and you're having a couple cocktails with the ladies, you just want to post that up and show everyone, hey, look at how much fun I am, look how cool I am, and with that, social works really well. So that kind of leads us to the next one. Sean, if you unmute yourself, I know Russell has a program called Funnel Hacks, and one of the questions is, if I don't have a product or know anything about traffic, should I get Funnel Hacks? So I think that's pretty valid. What is Funnel Hacks, Sean, and is it something that's valuable to people?
Well, let's take a step back for a second. If you don't have a product, other people have plenty of products. When I went to the person that I went to, they had a list and a product. They just weren't campaigning that product to their list. And that was how the idea was. Like, hey, you have this, you have these people, you have this product, you're not campaigning it to them. Let's campaign it to them and call it a Black Friday special.
So how does that conversation go? Because there's people out there that may have a friend or know somebody that does have a product that may not be marketing properly. Like, how does that conversation go when you're talking to them?
Well, the conversation that I had was simple. I said, I knew these people already. I said, hey, you doing a Black Friday special? They said, no, but it sounds like a good idea. It's like, well, why don't I take care of the email ad copy and building out the sales funnel? You do nothing, right? I'll take care of everything, and we'll just split the profits. And it's found money for them, right? They have a product and they have a list. They're not campaigning it, and definitely not campaigning it correctly. And whatever I sell, we'll split the product or split the profit. So that's how that went.
So you're basically saying to them, hey, guys, I know you have a product. Let me do all the work. We'll get you a bunch more sales, and we'll just split the profits.
Yeah, or I could have sold another person's product. We're doing that now. I call it a super affiliate, but taking one person's product to another person's list, I'm doing the campaigning, and now it's split out 3 ways. And all it is finding money in people's databases. When you have a buyer's list, like Trey said, buyers are buyers. They'll buy other stuff. Problem is most people don't have other stuff to sell them, and that's kind of where I step in to help them create something new or sell them somebody else's stuff, and then I know how to do the campaigning correctly with email or whatever the case may be. So so you don't have to have your own product. I don't have my own product. I sell other people's products to other people's databases, or help someone create some new content to be able to sell to their existing buyers list. And in terms of the funnel hack stuff, it's something that Russell offers, where he teaches you how to drive traffic and how to model other people's funnels. And that's what I was doing yesterday. I was I don't know about the people on the line here, but one of the things that I do, everybody wants to know, look, just go out and go out and model the best that's out there. Anytime I see, digital marketer come up in my Facebook feed, I'm taking a screenshot of their ad or their pictures, or, I'm on Frank Kern's list, so I get every email he sends out. So guess what? I can model his emails when I send them out, in my campaigns. All I'm doing, and all we're offering here is the shortcuts. Like, model what we've done. Just model what we're doing. Do not try to figure this stuff out on your own. And, whatever Russell does, get on his list. Whatever digital you know what I mean? Like, get on these people's lists and see what they're doing, and just use that in your own business. So yesterday I bought a book, and I was taking screenshots of everything. So if I ever do a book launch, I'm going to be able to model somebody else's funnel, and with ClickFunnels, it's just super easy.
Yeah. So just to back up, Funnel Hacks is a course that takes all the different pieces, like how to find a product, how to model other people's products that are successful, and then how to see where they're getting their traffic from. So it's basically everything that you would need in order to walk step by step through modeling someone that's already doing it and doing it successfully.
Yeah, when you sign up for the free trial, when you log in, there will be a link in there where you can sign up and see a webinar about that. So
Okay.
that's in your login area.
Okay, very cool. Sean, thank you so much. James, this next question is for you, and it really has to do with autoresponders and the back end of automating some of the marketing. Now, you had talked and showed pictures of what you were doing with Infusionsoft. And is that something that people need to go out and get? Because I know Infusionsoft is a very technically complicated software, and it is fairly pricey, especially for someone starting out. And are there any alternatives to Infusionsoft that you can use?
Well, it depends on what you want to do. Nobody needs Infusionsoft, right? Infusionsoft just is good when you get to a certain point. And if you want to do like complicated or more complex, I should say, not necessarily complicated, but more complex, hey, if this person does this, then send them to this email, or if they do this, send them this, and it's very good for that. But as far as just basic, email software and software that's going to enable you to send things to people who are opting in or anything like that, you don't need Infusionsoft. And that's the cool thing about ClickFunnels. It integrates with like just about everything. So you can use it with MailChimp, Aweber, Constant Contact, like any of the names that you'll recognize, it completely integrates just because that's the way they designed it. So Infusionsoft is great if you're ready for it, and if it supports your goals. And if it doesn't, that's okay too. It doesn't take anything away from the experience and what you're able to create in ClickFunnels. And you can just integrate it to any one of the softwares that you either may have, or it might be whatever software is better for where you are right now. I didn't start with Infusionsoft. I don't think a lot of people start with Infusionsoft, and then some people start with something else and they find out that that's good enough for them, and like, hey, awesome, go for it. So you can use it if it's useful, and if it's not useful and you want to use something else that better suits you, then you can do that.
Yeah, and I know for me, I don't use Infusionsoft. I use a program called Email Direct. I believe Trey, I think you were using a program called Office Autopilot. It really does. The technology behind it really doesn't matter, and you can built right into ClickFunnels is all the autoresponders that you'll need when starting out. Unless you're getting really sophisticated in terms of if they click on this email link, Infusionsoft is going to be overkill. So appreciate that, James. Yeah, that was good. And I got a quick one here that I'll answer. What is the chat software called? Sean talked earlier that having chat is absolutely crucial to have on every order page. And there's a program called Pure Chat. And we don't own the company. We're just users of it. It's extremely cheap. It's like $5 a month, and it's something that you can, just copy and paste a little piece of code, put it right into ClickFunnels, and there you go. You've got it up and running, and you can answer people's questions when they're on that page. So that was a great question.
Marty, I'm looking at some of the questions, and I hope I address these. People asking, what was my email headline, and where can I find samples of ads that worked? And that's all I'm saying is get on other really, really good people's lists and model, what they're doing. Like,
don't you have that included in your bonuses as well? All your emails and all the headlines and everything that you have?
My emails, yes, absolutely. You get all the emails that I use for the Black Friday special, so that's what I use for that campaign. I'm just saying that what I do is, when I see a good ad in Facebook, I take a picture. I go to somebody good's funnel. I'm, basically screenshotting the funnel so in case I ever need that funnel. So So yeah, you get everything that I use, but I'm just saying, keep an eye out what good people are doing, and then just model that.
Yeah, no, that makes a ton of sense. Ton of sense. Trey, got one for you, and this one is just very general. But how do you do tracking on your sales funnels and your process? And I think what they're getting at is how do you keep track of the numbers? How many people that are coming in? How many people are moving on to each step? How do you handle that?
Well, ClickFunnels actually does most of it for us, which is pretty sweet. Like, it'll show us like our conversions, how many leads we received, how many purchased, how many didn't purchase, and then you can actually use like you were saying, submit like ActiveCampaign or Infusionsoft or Office Autopilot, Entreport, whatever you use as your CRM. You can just tag the person coming in. So I know, like, as a system, I know who all bought, who all didn't take the upsell, who didn't take the second upsell, and things like that. So those two, in fact, are doing most of the work. And then tracking sales, we're just using Facebook tracking conversion pixels. And if you want to get really crazy, then you can go and grab Lead Dino right now. But little hush secret, pretty shortly here, ClickFunnels will be coming out with affiliate tracking. So you won't be needing Lead Dino or anybody else anymore. You'll be able to track everything through all links through ClickFunnels. So
wow,
little thing coming there.
Okay.
Heard it from a birdie.
Heard it from a bird. Well, I trust your sources, my friend. All right, James, just a quick one for you. I know you touched on this a little bit earlier, but how is this different from Lead Pages?
Yeah, so it's like Lead Pages on steroids. Lead Pages enabled you to create quick landing pages, where you could have opt-in forms and you can have video or imagery or anything like that you could just get up very, very quickly. And so ClickFunnels still enables you to get things up very quickly, have pages that are based on templates. I like the templates inside of ClickFunnels like way better. I think they're far more aesthetically pleasing. I think they're really interesting from an information architecture perspective. I think they're laid out better, which I believe improves conversion as somebody who's studied that for like the last 10 to 15 years, honestly. So I think the layout's a lot better. And then where it gets way different is I can completely customize the page. So I can say, you know what, I don't want that video there, I want it there. Or I'd rather have this element here, I'd rather have this image, this picture of the product, this whatever in this spot, and then I want my opt-in form over here. So the flexibility is just absolutely out of control, number one. Number two, then you get all the cool stuff like being able to cut and paste funnels. I mean, come on, for the love of God. If there is anything cooler, somebody please send me a message that if I take time and I build funnel and it's working and I want to share it with somebody, with a client, with a colleague, with one of you guys, I can literally just say, share this funnel, and if you have the link, you can take that funnel and bring it right into your own ClickFunnels. So not only does it give you more in terms of flexibility, I think it's better from a user experience and information architecture perspective, but we can share stuff. And the speed of implementation in anything is absolutely critical. The speed of implementation here is life or death. Like, you're either going to get it up in time or you're not. Or you're going to sit around and wait for the perfect opportunity, or you're going to get something up that starts making you money. So I think the biggest benefit for ClickFunnels is the wide variety of templates, not to mention the bonuses that we're putting in there for you that just give you ultimate control and flexibility to have your funnel be, look, and kind of create that experience that you want your customers and your prospects to have.
Yeah, and I'm just going to add a few more things in. The capability to do membership sites. That's just that is just huge. Being able to create a site where people can log in and have it private and deliver course material, that's unbelievable. The email autoresponders that are built in, and then just how all the pages link together, upsells, downsells. Sean talked about his where they sold 150 units, but they had 50 some ups, like almost 30% of the people bought that one-time offer upsell. What did that do to your profits, Sean? when those extra 30% of people bought something else?
Well, it's just again, it's found money.
Found money.
Yeah, they're in the buying mode. They don't. The cool thing about ClickFunnels is when somebody buys, you can do a one-click upsell. So they don't even have to put in their information again. All they have to do is click a button, and your merchant account is going to, deposit that money. So, when they're in the buying mode, you have to make them other offers or you're leaving a ton of money on the table. And one of the things that we've been doing recently with the membership sites, we stopped delivering all the lead magnets, via email, and then now putting them in membership areas. And then in the membership areas, when they go there, one, it makes it look more valuable since it's in a membership area, and two, in there we start making them, the next offer. So,
Okay.
So it's just another way to make your stuff look more valuable and get them to go to a place that makes them another offer, even though they didn't buy or whatnot in the initial funnel. So we're always making offers.
Okay. No, that's good. And you control the environment as well, which is good. So I think that wraps up, how is it different from lead pages? It's just, lead pages just has a very, very small feature set. And
Well,
ClickFunnels
let me
go ahead.
throw this out there, Marty. For
Go for
people who are curious, get the free trial. Check it out yourself. And if you don't like it better, then don't use it. But if your experience is like ours, you're going to sign in, and within like 10 minutes, you're going to be like, oh my God, I need to wear my seatbelt because this is going to help me move a lot faster. So go in and play around with it. And that's what part of the thing the 14-day trial is about, and having these bonuses in there so you can just, have things to adjust, because a lot of times it's harder starting from new and harder starting from scratch. So if you have a foundation to build on, you have templates, and you have these things that we're giving you, you should be able to get up and running pretty quickly. And so there should be no, kind of concerns there. But at a high level, I think we've answered the question. But if that's still something on anybody's mind, just go ahead and get the free trial, and then you can do your own comparison too. And if you don't like it, that's no big deal.
Yeah, great point. This question is for Trey, and then Jim, we're going to come back to you. Can we use ClickFunnels instead of services like Shopify? And how does that integrate with e-commerce? So people are selling products, and they already might be taking or have a Shopify card or be using PayPal to take payments. Trey, can you jump on that one?
Yeah, you can integrate Shopify with ClickFunnels if you know some cool stuff like HTML. But that was the one thing. Like we were actually, I didn't mention this when we were talking earlier, but we actually tried Shopify. We tried like 3 other different carts, like Shopping Cart 101, and like it was like crazy because Shopify, like you get an account, but then you got to add on all these other stuff for like a premium, and it's just like, what do you guys like? You just get ringed out the back end, out the butt cutter with crazy amounts of premiums coming in. So it's like, geez-o. So that's why we started leaning back to ClickFunnels, because like they're just like, hey, here's everything for $100 a month. I was like, perfect, and it's super simple. Like Shopify, like I'm not here to learn how to code. I'm not here to become an HTML coder or PHP or pay someone to come in and create a new website. Like I went through that. Like they're just putting salt in the wound, the way I looked at it, because I was like, I just got out of this huge thing for $3,500, and now you want me to code again? Like, that didn't work the first time. Why would it work this time? So when I saw ClickFunnels, it's like drag and drop, like James kind of just said, like, you got to put your seatbelt on here because it's just intense, where it's so simple. Like my mom's doing it right now. Like, literally, like, she has a ClickFunnels account. And if she can do it, like, you guys are way light years ahead of her. So it's pretty phenomenal. Mom, I love you.
Trey's mom, I love you too. And
We love you, Trey's mom.
Trey's mom, you brought us Trey into the world. What else can we say? So just continue that. So you can use other things besides Stripe with ClickFunnels. Is there integration with other, different types of merchanting solutions? Let's say someone has a different type of merchant software.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we mainly use Stripe. ClickFunnels, I don't believe does PayPal, but PayPal's like a little dirty anymore. Like, it's amazing how many accounts they're shutting down and freezing, and like it's like, geez, like we had a spike in our PayPal account where they're like, oh, you are obviously earning too much money for your own goods, sir. We are going to freeze payments for a little bit here. before
Yeah.
we figure out what you've been up to. And it's just like Stripe, we've had no problems. Stripe just keeps on pumping, and it delivers money every day, right? Stripe delivers money in your account every day, and it's phenomenal. It's easy setup. It's automatically guaranteed, and it doesn't cost. Like PayPal Pro costs us $30 a month, and we have 2 of them, so we're paying $60 a month to have PayPal accounts. With Stripe, it's free and it's easy, and it takes credit card and everything like that. So, yeah, I mean that's what we use. If you use Infusionsoft, you can have the payments go through that. If you want PayPal, then just integrate it through whatever CRM you're using, and you can do that as well. So it's not like it's extinct or anything, if you're comfortable.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
true. I've heard the same thing. People just getting their accounts shut down. I know one guy who had $100,000 in his account frozen for 6 months. I mean, what's that going to do?
Yeah, no, it's. I would highly recommend that you guys use Stripe, and we don't get anything by telling you guys to do that. It's just, again, this is just sharing information that's working for us. I think it was either the last. I haven't used PayPal to process anything in probably 2 years, because the last time I had like $10,000 or $15,000 get held up in there for a month and a half, and I was like, I don't have any problem. Like the client paid, everything was good, and these guys, no, it's just too much money. We're not used to that, and so we're not going to process. And I was like, what kind of world are we living in when I can't even collect the money that I need to? So it's like, for me, it's like jail. Like my money goes in there and just stays in there, and I can't ever get it. So I prefer Stripe, and you're 100% right. It's way easier to integrate with a lot of different things, and they don't hassle you. So it makes your money getting your money much easier.
Yeah, no, definitely good point. And James, I got another question for you here. For the consulting funnel that comes as part of the bonus, your consulting fire, does it require that you have a product? And, the person that typed in the question said they don't have a product, they just offer different services.
No, it doesn't require that you have a product at all. So I don't have a product. I have my services, my the things that I offer as part of my consulting business. And so if you're a business that just has services, outstanding. You can totally use that. I think my funnel will be helpful for you. And then I noticed there was another question, which I think is kind of similar, and I appreciate being asked. Somebody's like, will this be effective with network marketing? Yeah, it would be super effective with network marketing. And if you just imagine that you have pages that are taking prospects and converting them into leads and leads into sales, showcase the products or services that are part of your network marketing company, and really promote those, or create very attractive lead magnets to capture the leads so that you can sell to those people. And I think the thing here is this is really just going to start becoming limited by the span of your own imagination. If we have Trey talking about how he's doing different things with marking up products in Amazon, and I showed you guys a screenshot of what I've done for one of my clients who owns hotels. So it's not like there's a real limitation here in terms of the platform. You can use it to sell what you got to sell. I'm very confident in saying that, and you're going to have more than enough in the first when you sign up for this trial. Like I said, there's nothing held back there, and you'll get in there and you're going to have the ability to create up to 20 different funnels, which is a ton. And should you need more, then you can just upgrade to a different plan and be able to get more than 20 funnels. But the base package comes with 20 funnels, and so you can just go in there and let your imagination run wild and leverage some of the stuff that we're giving you guys as bonuses to build on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Good point. All right, James, thank you very much. This next one is for Mr. Sean Lynham. We haven't heard your lovely voice in a while, so we're going to bring you back in. And this one I know is near and dear to your heart because this cost you a bunch of sales. Can you mask the ClickFunnels domain name? So I know it's a somewhat of a technical question, so just at a higher level, just kind of speak on that.
Yeah, super simple. You can totally mask it, but I wouldn't do it because ClickFunnels allows you to do a custom domain, so you don't need to use ClickFunnels domains. It allows you to do a custom domain so the client sees whatever domain you want them to see, and it keeps, like I said, that lock. It shows that the pages are secure. So at the end of the day, you can mask it, but I wouldn't recommend it. Use the custom domain feature, and or we just use the ClickFunnels URLs. We have zero problems. The page just has to be secure.
Yeah, makes a ton of sense. And there's another quick one for you, Sean. Is if people are doing a membership site with video, do they have to host the videos on Amazon or YouTube, or can they upload videos right into ClickFunnels?
Okay, so I said earlier you just need an autoresponder, which you don't need anymore, and a merchant account. Yeah, they don't host videos, so we use Vimeo, Wistia, which costs money, which you don't really need out the gate. So we use YouTube, Vimeo, and Wistia. So if you're looking for something for free, YouTube or Vimeo will certainly do you just fine, and integrates really, really well with ClickFunnels. They have options in there, whether you want it to autoplay or show the play bar. All those things are in ClickFunnels to control that video for you. So they don't host, but there's free hosting in a ton of places.
Okay, great to know. And so you really don't have to spend any money on it. Someone can just take a video, they can record it with their phone even, throw it up on YouTube and create a members area just like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, very good. Trey, this is just a quick question about your transition into more of the physical product space and doing your own custom creation and sales of physical products, T-shirts, things like that. How have you set up your business to handle fulfillment and handle all the customer service things that go along with that?
Well, we put the right people in place, right? Because once you get to that type of level, you can start doing that. So there's a couple options. I mean, we looked at a few things. Like the T-shirts, we don't handle any of that. We don't print those. That's still through a manufacturer. I'm actually having a call we're actually revealing that manufacturer April 1st. But it's pretty cool. Like we use them, and they ship all of our T-shirts, so they do all of our hats and things like that, and then they can actually drop ship too. But we wanted to handle the drop shipping on our side, so we were in my house, like we're in a 2-story house. We had the full upstairs, just cranking business, and my entire dining room was full of boxes. And the cool thing is like when we sell something, we are actually selling it before it hits our floor. So we make sure that we'll sell 100 units or 1,000 units or 20,000 units, and once you build your patterns, once you know exactly pretty much what's going to come in, you can order it, and by the time it hits your floor, it's already sold. And that's how we'll have 20,000 units hit on Tuesday, and then that night and the next day they're all shipped out to their buyers, right? So our warehouse stays pretty empty for the most part, where we're just fluctuating and trading hands with products. So that's a couple little things that we've been doing. We decided to do the drop shipping on our hand mainly because of our students. We wanted to offer our students a way to be able to drop ship and trust who's drop shipping it versus trying to hire someone who's local to them or things like that. And it's been a pretty cool experience so far.
Okay, very good. It takes the risk out of it, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah, it sure does. You don't have to buy 20,000 units.
Yeah, last thing you want is to order a big pallet of knives from China and have them come and sitting in your driveway for the next 3 months. I like the way you do that. All right, and here's a quick question. What type of support do we get after becoming members? Phone, email, chat? I think it was Sean. He was talking about how amazing ClickFunnels customer service is. He's sending questions on Thanksgiving and getting very quick responses. I've had the same experience, and I know the other guys have as well. There is email and chat, I believe. I haven't had to call, so do any of you guys know if there's phone support on that? I'm not really sure about that, but I know if you send an email, typically you're going to get an email response within, I've had it as quick as 10 minutes. It's amazing.
Yeah, they're really, really fast. They usually have they try to keep it under, 50 to 70 support tickets in the queue. So they're always turning and burning through those support tickets. So I'd say, worst case, you're looking at 24 hours.
Okay, very good.
Marty, hey, I just I've seen a couple questions come in that I think I can answer all at once, so I'll just go ahead and do that.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, there were a few questions. Do you bought a subscription to ClickFunnels already? Is it still okay to get the access to bonuses? The answer to that is yes, but you have to send us an email to bonuses@clickfunnelallstars.com. That, you know, if you've got a membership already, that's the place to do that. Then there was another question that says, do the funnels from the bonuses also include emails for the autoresponder? No, they don't. These are the funnels that are built in ClickFunnels. The content that you're going to need to create, feel free to create that. And there was a question in here, you know, if I want help or I want coaching or all that. And we're putting this whole program together, and as we are, we're fielding the questions that are coming in. And we've been more than happy to have conversations with you guys if you need extra help. And so if there's specific requests for things related to coaching or how to do this or how to get traffic, we're trying to give you the most resource that we can on this call here. But if you've got additional questions, then just hit us up, send us an email at bonuses@clickfunnelallstars.com, and we'll do our best to get back to you relatively quickly. So hopefully that answers those questions. What somebody else asked, this is another Infusionsoft CRM related question. I just signed up to Aweber as a newbie. When I grow, can I transfer my list to the bigger guys like Infusionsoft? Yeah, you can always export your list and bring it to wherever you want to go. So if that works for you right now, then go for it.
Yeah, I tell people to lead with revenue, not expenses, right? If you got Aweber, make some money with Aweber. And you can always trade up later. You know, I pay for Infusion. I don't use it to 1/10 of its capability, so I guess I'm kind of overpaying because I just really use Broadcast and Simple Autoresponder. So definitely lead with revenue, guys.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's for every single business. It doesn't matter. We got a few questions just with very technical ClickFunnels integration questions. And what I'll say is that, you know, any type of technology that you're integrating with ClickFunnels, they probably will say, okay, you know, 95% of people are going to be using these top 10 resources, and they have, typically one-click integrations. And for all the other ones, they've set up something, you know, called the custom integration. So the email autoresponder that I use, Email Direct, it didn't have a one-click integration. So all I had to do was just cut a little piece of code from Email Direct and, paste it into ClickFunnels, and it was able to handle the integration seamlessly. So what's nice about it is if you have some obscure product or service that you really love, you can integrate it even if they don't have the one-click integration. So there was a question about Traffic Wave and Zaxa. I'm not even sure, what those autoresponders are, but I just know, from coming at it from that side myself, it's really easy to do a custom integration. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Merchant account through ClickFunnels. We discussed this earlier. ClickFunnels doesn't offer a merchanting solution, but they integrate with things like Stripe, which is just a very simple merchanting solution that is just amazingly simple but amazingly powerful, and takes away a lot of the negative things that I used to deal with when dealing with PayPal and other merchanting solutions. So you can literally sign up for an account with Stripe in under 5 minutes. No lengthy approval processes, things like that, and be up and selling, almost immediately.
Yeah, ClickFunnels is they have like over 6,000 users that everybody's got their own merchant account. They integrate with almost everybody. So again, keep your autoresponder, keep your merchant account, make some money before you think about transitioning to anything else. I mean, there's so many people using this and asking for to work with their stuff that it works with almost everything right now.
Yeah, this is a great question that just came in. Would this replace all of my existing WordPress / OptimizePress landing pages funnels? Would I need to migrate them over? And this one absolutely blew me away because I have a fairly robust WordPress site, and I was just doing things separately in ClickFunnels, and then I also had my WordPress site. And they came out with recently a feature that is a WordPress plugin where you can take all the funnels that you create in ClickFunnels and just press a button on the back end of WordPress, and they're right integrated into your site. And when I saw that, I was like jumping up and down because for me, that's a complete game changer. So there's no reason to take what you already have and throw it over. You can integrate it directly in, and it's as simple as point and click. So huge, huge feature. I was so thankful that the ClickFunnels guys spent their time to build that one up. All right, what else do we have here? Jim, this one's for you.
All right.
On the consulting webinar, do you have the webinars ready to go when you place the ad, or do you take the orders and then prepare and run it? So I guess it's like a timing thing. If we're planning a webinar,
right,
do we have the webinar already done, or is it, do we start running ads and then get it done?
I usually have it done. If you need to, my advice on this is if you're not sure you're going to have an audience for a webinar, then see how easy it is for you to capture the leads or something that's not the webinar first. So potentially put a lead magnet out there that might be helping people with the same topic that they want help on, and see if you can get a good response to that. And then if you can, then you've gotten a clear indication from the market that there's interest. And so that's what I would do. And then once you know that you want to sell through a webinar, put it together. And Russell actually has a beautiful template that he calls the perfect webinar. And that thing walks you through step by step exactly what you need to do to get a really successful webinar. But I would want to be able to put the webinar together and know what I'm talking about, know the promise of the webinar, like why are we having it, what's on there, right? For example, today we knew that we wanted this webinar to help you guys see how you could go from ClickFunnels Rookie to ClickFunnels All-Star in 30 days, right? And if we hadn't thought through what we were going to deliver here, it would have been very hard to communicate that. And so, but we knew that there was kind of a market for this conversation and people who want to have this conversation. So we put the webinar together, and then we ran traffic to it, and that's the way I would recommend doing it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think having clarity on your message before you start putting out your ads is huge, because you really want your ads and your marketing to match the message that you're going to give. Just be congruent. So, all right, guys, we are coming up on almost 2.5 hours, and I cannot believe the amount of people that are still on. Guys, I really, really, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate the fact that you've stuck with us this whole time. We've just kind of opening our playbooks and giving everything we got. I hope it was very helpful for you. Do either of you guys have any parting words of wisdom?
The only thing that I would say is, first of all, I love that we were able to do this together today, guys, and share this with everybody. There's no reason not to give this a shot. With the 14-day trial, with the bonuses, all that stuff, there really is very little reason. And if you're finding reasons to not do this, then chances are that's the way that you're behaving in the rest of your life too. You're finding reasons to not do something. So why don't you play around with this, see if it works for you, and if it does, awesome. Now you've got a whole front-end funnel system that's going to be ready to rock and roll and just dramatically accelerate how fast you're able to get stuff done. So we're really excited to be able to give you these bonuses, and we hope that you take full advantage of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I'd recommend is if you haven't gone to our Facebook page, go there, like it, and if you have questions, feel free to put it in there on the Facebook page as well. And that way, your question, I'm sure there's other people that have that question, and we can answer it and help other members in the community out. So, all right, guys, thanks for sticking on again, and look forward to talking with you in the future.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.